Everybody to the 33 Sea Games here held in Thailand. My name is Jan Dorset, and I will be commentating with, besides me here, we have Olympic sailor Mickey. Mickey, you are a local, and you're going to be joining me here with all these races. You know these guys, you know these waters very well. Welcome. How are you?
Absolutely, Jan. Thank you for having me. We're here in the beautiful Gulf of Thailand, off the coast of Jomtien Bay, representing today. We're at the Southeast Asian Games, hosted by Thailand this year. What a great place to be, Jan.
Absolutely, and it's beautiful weather today out there. We've got a nice breeze, which is out on the race course. The boats are already out on the race course, getting themselves ready, and let's take a look here at the daily schedule and find out what we're going to be seeing today. So we will be starting racing at 12 o'clock in about 10 minutes from now. So we've got 5 boats that are 5 teams that are out on the water right now. And daily schedule, as you see here, we'll have 3 races today. Normally we have 2 races planned. Today we will be having 3. We've got some great sailing conditions. We expect the wind to go down as the week goes by. So we are going to take advantage of these good sailing conditions that we have right now. And wow, take a look at that beautiful view off of the coast of Thailand here. We are about an hour and a half away from Bangkok, a little bit further down to the south in a place called Pattaya. Right now, temperature out there, nice 30 degrees Celsius. We've got a smooth 6 knots, steady 6 knots as we're a little bit further away from the coastline. We had wind coming in this morning, really from the north, coming in from the land. And as we expect the winds to shift left today as the day goes by. Now let's listen to the national anthems of our teams, and we will start off with the Thai national anthem. So that was the Thai team with their national anthem, and now for the Malaysian national anthem. That was a Malaysian national anthem, and now for Myanmar national anthem. Anthem. Now let's listen to the Philippines national anthem.
Di ka pasisiit sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong mukhang may dilagang tula, tawid sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na naglilingig, ang bituin at araw niyang kay kamay nagdidilig. Lupa ng araw na walang aming pagsinta, buhay langit sa
national anthem, and now for our last national anthem, Team Vietnam.
Sa
That right there was the national anthems of all the teams that will be participating, as we are now looking at a live image of what's going on onto the water. Now, let's take a look here at the team lineups and see who will be sailing on each one of the boats. We will be starting with a team Thailand. Here we go. Here's the graphic. So we have at the bow, we have Anusan, mid-bow, Nay, Pitt, Alex. The trimmer is Dylan, offset trimmer, Trump, offset, the grinder number 1, Nut, floater, Bond, mainsail, Chusit. At the helm is Nye. The tactician is Don. And very, very special, we have a strategist on this boat is Her Majesty the Queen Sutida. She is the current queen of Thailand, and she is sailing on the boat. She perhaps might also be grabbing the helm as the boat is sailing today. Let's move on to our next team, which is Team Malaysia. In the bow, we have Asri, mid-bow, Aikyuden, Pit, Awi, trimmer, Latif, the grinder, Aswat, the floater, Nisa, on the mainsail, Hakimi, at the helm, Nizam, and the tactician is Mira. Moving right along to our next team, which is Team Myanmar. At the bow here, we have Mintaw, mid-bow, we have Atadi2, at the pit, Kansei, as the trimmer, Min, offset trimmer, Sai. Grinder number 1 is Sidu Hain. The grinder number 2 is Dan Saw. And the mainsail, we have Al Mindu. At the helm, we have C2 and tactician Su Mia. Moving to our next team, the Philippines. On the bow, we have Joel, mid-bow, Wok, Pit, Plorin, trimmer, Rich Lee, offset trimmer, Alacia, grinder number 1, Troy, floater, Colleen, main, Rubin, at the helm, Ridgely, and tactician, Emerson. And our last team to look at the lineup is Team Vietnam. On the bow, we have Matt, mid-bow, we have Jao, Pit, we have Ha, trimmer is Tong, the offset trimmer is Nyong, grinder number 1, Min, floater is An, on the mainsail we have Dai, and at the helm we have Zong. And that is your lineup for Team Vietnam. Here we are on board with Team Vietnam right now. As you can see, they're well protected from the sun. As it is hot, but the sun is even hotter. Now let's take a look here at perhaps the course explanation. We'll have a little animation to explain to you what's going on. As you see here, the boats are below the starting line as they're getting prepared. There it is, the starting line on the right-hand side right there. You see between the two boats with that those two orange flags, which give us the starting line. The two yellow buoys, that's the lower gate, which the teams will be coming back through on their first and second downwind. Here we are looking at our 3D images, and now this is something which is totally new for the SEA Games, Mickey. We have the opportunity this time to be able to take a look at what's going on in the 3D models.
Yes, definitely. It is a very special occasion, as this year we have live sailing that is going to be broadcasted here right now. And this is a very unique opportunity with the development of technology. We have beautiful live feed, later on drone footage of the racing, and as well this 3D live tracking that we can see. Now,
yeah, it's very interesting for the SEA Games. This is the very first time that the SEA Games will be broadcasted live using all of the technology coming from the SSL. And what the SSL is used to is used to having. Here we see that is the race committee boat right there. It looks like P flag is in, so we are under 4 minutes to the start. As you see to the bottom right hand side of your screen right there, we're 3 minutes away from the start as teams are jostling for position. So this is the race number 1 of day number 1. Very exciting here. This the first time we have all these teams sailing so close to one another. Yes, all the teams have come for practice about 2-3 weeks ago, as they were over here in of course, in very different conditions. You would never expect to have racing conditions when you're practicing, or vice versa. And that was exactly it. They were having a lot of wind, and today it seems like it's going to be a little bit lighter for them.
Yeah, definitely, Jan. This time of year, as locals like to say, we're getting the chilly, dry Chinese wind that we're getting at this time of year. Normally all year round, we got some beautiful southerly oscillating breeze, but as we see now, 2 weeks ago, we had pretty strong breeze in the training, and building up to where we are today, we have about 6 beautiful knots out there today. Nice, beautiful sunshine, and it's going to be really tricky for every team out there today to try and take as much as advantage out there as they can.
Yeah, so we're a little bit, as you see, off the off the shore, and we need to do that because, as you see, as closer to the shore right there, there's a little bit less wind. So we really had to make the move and put the race course all the way out here. Of course, with Her Majesty sailing on Team Thailand, well, you can all imagine the amount of safety regulations and protocols that everybody has had to go through in order to keep this sailing area very, very safe and secure. So here we are, 2 minutes away from the starting procedure. As you saw, the starting line right there between the 2 boats. Just remind you, the 2 orange flags represent the starting line. And this is Team Myanmar, as we're seeing right here, putting in a jibe and getting themselves ready to be able to jostle 1 minute and 40 seconds before the start. Mickey, what are you thinking 1 minute and 40 seconds before the start?
Yeah, definitely. In the sport of sailing, the start, you could say, is the most important part of the race. It's where you're all at the same position, and a lot of people like to say it dictates about 80% of your race. As you can see right here, a majority of the fleet is lining up to the left side of the line. It tells me that they might be looking to go out to away from land to get more breeze, and as we can see right here, a team is going for attack. Maybe they're looking to go for port start, possibly. What do you think, Jan?
Yeah, absolutely. The start is really a crucial moment in the race. We often say it's not because you get a good start that you're going to win the race, but one thing is for sure, you get a bad start, you're not going to be in the front, or at least it's harder to be out in the front. As 47 seconds away here from the very first start, as we see some boats now, as you see, they're going up head to wind, trying to slow themselves down, as looks like right here we've got 2 teams jostling for position. Looks like Myanmar and the Philippines that are very close together. 3 boats coming in here. Oh, we've got somebody who's a little bit late. I don't know. Is that Team Vietnam? 23 seconds before the start. 20 seconds before the start. This is right now. It's time to pull the trigger and get those boats started. As you see, they're right there. The bowman from Team Myanmar is telling his skipper, go, go, go. Keep going ahead. As we're looking 7 seconds, 6 seconds before we get to the line, it looks like Malaysia up at the top of your screen right there is coming in with a lot of speed, faster than everybody else. So it looks like a good, clean start. I'm not seeing any flags from the race committee. It looks like we have an all clear start, as we have 3 boats together, and we have the Malaysian boat, or perhaps is that the Thai boat? It's difficult to see right now as everybody is very clustered up together, but we definitely have 1 boat which managed to get a great start. Looks like Philippines and Myanmar right there, very, very close together. Myanmar is in a difficult position right now. He's been between 2 boats, so he's stuck between a boat which is trying to go high, squeeze him out, and he's stuck with the boat that's just above him.
Yes, definitely. You can see right here, Philippines has a very beautiful lane below the whole fleet, and they're going to try and aim to squeeze him out of their line and try to push him towards a lighter breeze towards the right side of the course. As you can see, the boat on the left side of the screen, it looks like they've got a really good mode, and maybe they'll try and roll over the fleet right here. Wow. Good racing. Good start so far.
Yeah, it's a good start. We've got at least we've got 3 boats that are on your right-hand side that are all together. We've got a very nice start from the Team Malaysia. That was, oh no, or was that looks like Team Thailand, I believe, which is just above the Philippines and Myanmar right now. And it looks like Malaysia took a very good start, and Vietnam, which is just behind the others.
Yes, definitely. You can see right now you got all the team hanging off to the side trying to balance out the boat. Definitely in the sport of sailing, you try and balance out the forces. You got a lot of force in these massive one design sails on this SSL47, and we got to get as much riding moment to get as much height and speed as we can out of these beautiful boats.
Yeah, the Philippines doing a great job there of being able to go a little bit high and really putting the pressure on right now for the Myanmar team, which is stuck right there. As you see them there, they definitely do not want to be over there because they're in the bad air. But it looks like Team Thailand has got their groove on. They've got a lot of speed. They are number one, and they're causing havoc out there because it's getting really difficult for Team Myanmar and Malaysia to be able to, but Myanmar and the Philippines to be able to get out of there. You see them on the right-hand side of your screen. Difficult for them. They can't tack over. They've got the Vietnamese boat is keeping them pinned in there, so really difficult for Myanmar right now and the Philippines to be able to tack over, so they're kind of stuck there. Interesting move for Team Vietnam, as they are on starboard tack, and so therefore they have the right of way. Right there, you see the Vietnamese boat. That's the boat that's right in the middle.
Yeah, definitely. Right now we're on board of the Thai team, and it does look like they have found their groove. They've really pushed the Filipino team out to the left, and looks like they're leading the charge. But above them, we could see that the Malaysian team is really, really putting them in a really tricky situation. It'll be quite interesting to see how the Thai team react to this. They're looking over their shoulder to see maybe if they can put an attack and maybe cross the Malaysians, or maybe have to duck them.
Yeah, you can see Her Majesty the Queen right there in the back, which is taking a look at the compass headings and trying to figure out, as she is responsible for the strategy of the boat. And we have Nai, which is steering the boat, the Thai boat right now.
Yeah, definitely. Look, you can see the Thai team kind of extending their lead a little bit more, but it looks like the Malaysian team is just holding on right there, making their lives a little bit more difficult. Definitely. Oh,
here we go. Here's the first tack that we're seeing after the start, and it looks like the Philippines have now decided to be able to tack and get out of that position which they were stuck in with all that bad air. So now let's take a look at what Malaysia is going to do. Is Malaysia going to cover and go on top of the Philippines? I don't think so. Or are they going to be chasing down Thailand?
Oh, there goes the Thai team. Let's hope they execute a beautiful maneuver. It's going to be pretty crucial, this tack.
Let's take a look here what Malaysia is going to do. Malaysia is... Are they going for the port and starboard? Are they going to try to put a penalty, as we see the jury boats following in close behind? Oh, no, looks like no problem right there for Team Thailand, which makes a clear pass and passes right in front of the Malaysian team.
That was a very crucial tack in this point of the race. Now we'll see how the Thai team leads the dance, as they like to say in this sport of sailing. If you're leading from the front in this open leg, it's a lot easier to be in the dirty air behind all the other boats, as we can see.
That's right, dirty air. So remember, as these boats are going through the air and through the water, they're let's say perturbing the airflow and as well the water, creating waves, and that disrupts the other boats that are behind, making it harder for the guys that are behind.
Yeah, definitely. You want a clear wind to get as much airflow around these sails and just get as much force as you can. Being behind other boats will definitely put you at a disadvantage, and you don't want to stay there for as long as you can, as you're just losing meters. As we can see right now, the Thai team is leading the fleet to the right. Maybe they see something out there, or maybe we're getting closer towards the ley line. It's about 1 kilometer away. Nice big course. As we can see, the Filipinos aren't doing too bad down there either, and it looks like the wind has shifted a little bit more to the left. Don't you think, Jan?
Yeah, it's hard to say what the wind shifts are doing out there. Obviously, we saw them going out on a starboard tack for quite a while, so it's trying to stay out a little bit, to the outside, not getting too close to the shore. Probably a little bit more pressure as they go further away from the shore. Now, obviously, they're going to have to tack back in there. They're going to have to go to the weather mark. So that's what we're seeing right now, as they are about 1 kilometer away right now from reaching the windward mark. Let us just remind you that this is the first race of the first day of sailing here in these team events. But it's not the first day of sailing that we've seen at the SEA Games, Mickey.
No, definitely not. This is the 33rd edition of the Southeast Asian Games. The first edition was hosted a while back, and Thailand was also the first host of the Southeast Asian Games, so it's good to have a nice circle back to where we are now. And this is the first edition where we have these beautiful SSL47s joining us in sailing. Sailing is a large sport in the Southeast Asian Games, and over the last week we've had a lot of dinghies ranging from Optimists, 470s, Ilkas that just finished up their competitions yesterday, and on board these boats we do have a couple of medal winners.
Yeah, we can definitely talk about that. On Thailand boat yesterday, they in the 470 class, they won gold.
Yeah, definitely. We have Nishapa or Nai as well with Tam, who are the superstar pairing for Thailand that represented in the 470. They've won gold yesterday. On top of that, we have the great helmsman from Malaysia, Nizam, good friend of mine. You know, he's helming that SSL boat quite well. He's holding just above Thailand and Philippines there in the shot. He won silver yesterday, so congratulations to him.
So it's great to see that you can actually participate in these SEA Games. And SEA Games, what does that mean? That stands for Southeast Asian Games. So these are the Olympics of Asia, basically. And it just allows the Asian countries to be able to have more of their athletes represented in all of these sports. As it's obviously, you know, it's very difficult to get into the Olympic Games, and so well they've created their own Olympic Games, and it's not the first time that we've had mixed team events sailing. It is the first time though that we are on the boats that are this big, and it's the first time also that we've got live onboard camera. So this is a big evolution to sailing for the SEA Games, and the SSL is really proud to be part of that and to be able to bring that to the SEA Games.
Yeah, definitely. This year in the SEA Games we had 11 members coming to compete in Thailand for the 33rd edition. What makes this SEA Games very unique, apart from these keel boats, is to have Her Majesty aboard as well. On the 4th edition of the SEA Games we've had the late King Ramanine, King Bhumipol, who also won a medal in the OK dinghy, and he was an icon to the country, as well as Her Majesty right now. It's definitely incredible to have such a figure in Thailand to come and compete at such a high level.
As a matter of fact, the King, from what I understood, built his own boat back in the day.
Oh, he was an avid boat builder. He created his own class, the Supermot, part of the OK dinghy. So he was a very avid boat builder, and as well in the community as well. As we are here now at the top mark, we have Thailand leading as well. Looks like Philippines back in the just behind, and let's see how they maneuver around these marks.
So you're seeing two marks right there. They're going to be going around that first mark, so they need to go around both of them. The reason why they have two marks is to be able to keep a little bit of separation between the boats and make sure that the boats don't come in too close to one another. So there you go, as you see them rounding that first yellow marker up there, which we call the weather mark. Thailand is in first, and now they're preparing to hoist their spinnaker. Oh, look, this is going to be a close one here.
We're gonna have a situation right here. Here we go. Let's see if Malaysia
and the Philippines. Is Malaysia going to keep going so they don't bother the Philippines? This could be, look at this. Oh, so the Philippines right there saying that, I've had to avoid you. Are they going to protest? Possible protest now from Team Philippines against the Malaysian boat.
Yes,
there it is.
Yeah,
that's definitely a protest. So that's definitely what they wanted to do. We're going to wait now for the reply of the jury. And if we see a jury boat with a green flag, then we'll know that the protest will not have counted. Otherwise, they will be giving a red flag to the Malaysian boat. So that's the jury. That's a little motorboat right there that you see moving right between the two boats.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as they're both hoisting their spinnaker, I don't believe that it was a red flag. So I think everything's okay for Malaysia. It doesn't seem as though the penalty has been taken into consideration. Otherwise, they would have already been turning before they put the spinnaker up. Wow, look at those nice spinnakers with the country flags flying high and proud.
Yeah, we're on board the Thai team right now. We have Mook on bow. He's done a great job, and definitely in these beautiful keel boats, the hoist of these spinnakers are very crucial in trying to extend your lead if you can. You gain a lot of speed on these downwinds, and if that spinnaker hits the water, oh boy, you are in trouble.
Yeah, you're in trouble, and on top of it, you know, when you're lifting up the spinnaker bags, they already weigh about 25 kilos. But as soon as they get wet, just a little bit, you'll double the weight, and it's already pretty heavy as it is. If you get those spinnakers wet, it's just terrible.
Whole world of trouble.
Looks like we've got a split right now. Oh, what's going on back there? Looks like we've got one boat that did not put up the spinnaker. What's
Like
going
Team
on?
Vietnam back there. Looks like they have an issue on board. Technical. Oh boy.
Perhaps a technical issue with Team Vietnam, or perhaps them seeing a lot of wind coming in. It looked to me like there was definitely some pressure coming in. It looked like there was more pressure up at the windward mark than at the leeward mark. Here we go with 3D images right now of what's going on as we see Thailand on the right-hand side of your screen, which is way out in front. Malaysia and Myanmar just following behind Thailand, and it looks like the Philippines has split along with Vietnam.
Yeah, it looks like Philippines is going to try and find something out on the left side of the course looking downwind. Definitely Thailand, Malaysia, and Myanmar. They're all pushing out to the right to what they saw on the first leg of the start. Definitely if you have more wind on the left side looking upwind, you kind of want to stick up on board, as we can see.
It looks like jibe is about to come in right there.
Here we go, here we go.
Her Majesty the Queen has just ordered a jibe. As you can see, she's helping out and getting that kite to go across.
Clean.
Looks
jibe.
clean. Looks clean. I'm trying to see if the battens have passed. It looks like they have. Of course, it's a little bit hard to see from this vantage point. So clean jibe right there being put in by Team Thailand as they're going back towards the center of the race course, and we can see here it definitely looks like there's more whitecaps than what there was. So perhaps we're getting a little bit more wind that's coming in. The boats are not cruising right now.
Oh, it's beautiful. Look at it go.
Wonderful. And look at that. We're seeing no other boats. So this is good for Team Thailand. A nice clean start for Team Thailand.
Yeah, it looks like they've kept their 250-meter lead in front of Team Malaysia. And where we are positioned right now, we have a lot of land effect, as you can see in the background with these skyscrapers that really affect how the wind is coming through. This forecast of swinging towards the left, it is going to bring a little bit more pressure as we are.
As you
right
see
now.
those islands in the background over there, you have a little bit more pressure as that means you have a little bit more wind. We say pressure, it's wind. You've got a little bit more wind as you go further out.
Yeah, and sport of sailing, we're going to try and find as much wind as we can. We're in a one-design boat, Jan, these SSL47s. Everybody has the same equipment, the same type of hull, the same sail. So it all comes down to the athletes and sailors to really make good decisions on the water and read the wind as well as they can and just grab and squeeze as much of that benefit as they can towards each race.
Yeah, absolutely. This is these boats. It's just so important that the whole team works together, and it's not just about pulling ropes and letting them go. They have to move around on the boat together in order to be able to manipulate it as easily as possible. And now we are getting closer and closer. Distance to the mark, 337 meters. So now they're about to take down. Nope, they're going to do a jibe right now. And then we're going to see them taking the spinnaker down. This is the move.
Whoa.
Oh.
Load it up, load it up.
Yeah, for sure. This is the move that's going to be critical right now for Team Thailand. There's no reason to take any risks right now for Team Thailand. Just a nice, clean drop as we see the Genoa, the black sail underneath the spinnaker right now going up. As we see the drop line starting to get tension here. As we see that, there we go. They drop the halyard, and it looks like a really nice, clean drop right there. Nothing going into the water and straight into the boat. What a clean drop right there for the Thailand team as they've arriving now here at the leeward gate. So Thailand is going back up for another lap, and now it's going to be time to watch the other boats as they arrive at the leeward gate.
Yeah, it looks like Philippines have really found their groove towards the left side of the course, downwind, and has crossed the Malaysians. It'll be interesting to see how the fleet is going to split between the left side and the right, but that Thailand drop, wow. That is a very good example of the standards of sailing that they are producing today in the Southeast Asian Games.
Oh, look here. We've got a bunch of things happening there on the boat. Oh, it looks like we've got a little bit of a cluster with some of the sheets right there as we're getting closer and closer to the mark. Oh, who's coming in there right there, which did a
like
windward drop? Was that
early drop from Philippines?
Is that an early drop from the Philippines, just taking their time and making sure they're getting around there as the two other teams, as we're seeing Malaysia and Myanmar fighting at it, trying to get themselves to get to that buoy. So it looks like a pretty clean mark rounding right there for Team Philippine.
Yeah, they've definitely taken the lead and has passed Team Malaysia. And a nice clean mark rounding here from Malaysia as well as Myanmar. It'll be quite interesting to see how Team Malaysia is going to execute and try to come back into the race.
So very interesting as we see that we saw that Malaysia got a really good start, and now they're in the back of the pack with Myanmar. Myanmar was out in front. No, they were stuck between two boats in the very beginning. So,
yeah.
Wow, look at the commanding lead of Thailand right there.
Oh, 1 minute. That's a pretty big lead, huh?
That's a big lead. Yeah, 1 minute down over at the gates before the next boat managed to get in there, the Philippines. So that's a really big lead, as you see when we follow the boats that are behind. They're only 10 seconds behind. So Philippines, Myanmar, Malaysia, very close to one another, and it looks like Vietnam are following behind. I don't know why Vietnam didn't put up that spinnaker. Perhaps they didn't feel comfortable putting up that spinnaker in the increasing winds, or perhaps there was some sort of technical issue. I don't believe that was a technical issue. You have to understand also that these teams, I mean, they've been here for a week. They've been trying these boats out. They've been sailing them as much as they can. But for example, in Vietnam, you just don't have big boats.
Yeah,
I think there are 2 Far East 28s in the whole country.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So all of a sudden now you're putting 10 people on a boat, fully carbon boat, racing boats. Well, this is just not something that is common in Vietnam. So, new boats, new techniques, new ways of having to work together, and so yeah, it's gonna take a little bit. And it'll be interesting to see each one of the teams getting better and better as the week goes by.
Yeah, of course. As we can see here, Thailand on the left side is leading the fleet back to the right side, trying to be conservative. As we're in the front, the more distance between you put between each competitor, the more risk you put into your racing plan. So I completely agree with what Team Thailand is doing over here. We're on board Team Philippines right now. They look like they're working hard as one unit. It's a boat with 9 to 10 people on board, and every single person has a role to make this team run as smoothly and as fluid and as fast as they can. As we can see, they're fixing a technical issue. Looks like they're tightening the leech of the Genoa.
Yeah, exactly. So that little rope that he's pulling, that's something that they can adjust on each one of their boat. As the wind goes up, the back of the sail has a tendency to flap, and so they can pull that little rope, and that tightens it up. And and saves the sails from flapping and degrading, and also allows them to sail a little bit higher, a little bit faster.
Definitely. Yeah, as the conditions as we have right now compared to the start, they've night and day, as you'd like to say. And we cannot have the same sail shape as we have in lighter breeze. They're fully powered up around 6 knots, and it looks like a lot of them are going to have to depower and just make these boats a lot
you can
more
see right there,
controllable.
Mickey. If you look at the main sail, they're trying to depower that main. So it is a steep learning curve to figure out how to depower the main. If you depower it too much, the boat is unstable. If you've got a little bit too much power, then you're overpowered, and then you'll slow the boat down. So it's really just a question of being able to find the right adjustment for these huge, giant mainsails.
Yeah, as we can see here, Team Thailand hiking hard. Just now, we had Her Majesty just checking her bearings and making some tactical decisions on board this Thai boat, and to see if they can catch any extra breeze up the course before the other competitors reach them. Oh.
Just to give you an idea, on the upwind right now, the boats have about 120 square meters of sail right now.
Wow.
As they're going up into the wind. And when they're coming back down, as soon as they put up those kites, the spinnakers, asymmetrical spinnakers, they're up at 230 square meters. So some big spinnakers being put up and allowing them to really get all that speed. But, of course, power is nothing without control, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. If you're overpowered up, you have no control. And in the sport of sailing, control is the name of the game. Being as balanced as you can, and being able to take every decision that you want to take. If you have a boat that's out of control, overpowered, and you want to go for attack, that could just spell disaster to your race, and that could be the end of it.
Yeah, you can. Not only do you go slower, but you can break equipment. It's kind of like any race. Even if you're looking at cars, if you push the envelope a little too far, you can crash. Here, generally, we don't have crashes, but you can push the envelope a little bit too far, and then you'll end up by going a little bit slower than the other ones. As we are now, what's going on? Look at this mainsail as it's flapping. As a matter of fact, it's even inverted. So that's no good right there. They really need to work on that sail shape.
Yeah.
It also goes to show there's a lot of wind right now. Obviously, the wind has gone up. So we'll see if the race committee decides to stay with these Genoas, or perhaps they decide to change it up and change the front sail, because we can change the front sail. We do have 3 sails that are up right now. We have the Genoa, which is the biggest front sail that we can have. The following sail after that is what we call J2. It's an intermediate sail, and then we have the J3, which is our smallest sail. And we'll put that up when we get around the 16 knots. So it depends. Depends right now what's going out on the water. You can see here, Team Thailand, everybody hiking hard, as much weight as possible. And it does get a little bit choppy. The further they go out, the more choppy it gets on that water. For the time being, it doesn't look too choppy out on the water. The wind hasn't quite shifted too much to the north. We know that as the wind shifts to the north, we get a little bit more waves from the Gulf of Thailand.
Yeah, definitely. I've shared my fair share of time on this beautiful Gulf here, and I've done a lot of ILCA, or laser sailing, as you'd like to say. And this time of year, it's really a paradise to be sailing. You have breeze every day. It's warm. It's beautiful conditions. And as it's, we're looking at like 30 degrees every day, the air is a little bit less dense. And what I find out there is that the gusts come and go. And it's very, very puffy. But these boats really have to, they went for another tack. Here they go.
Team Vietnam right there just putting in a tack.
Oh, looks like they're communicating. Maybe they have an issue on board. Something's up with that mainsail.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to bring it in. Really, that's all there is to it. Obviously, the wind picking up, making things a little bit harder for all the teams.
Yeah, it looks like they're leading towards the top mark, the weather mark, and right now looks like the wind has shifted a little bit more. Looks like Malaysia has clawed back. They have closing the gap to the Filipino team. There are only a couple meters between them. It's going to be very tight around that top mark. Looks like Thailand has maybe overshot their ley line over here. On board the Filipino boat, looks like they are hiking hard.
Yeah, we're about 350 meters away from the weather mark, so this will be the second time that we get to the windward mark as we see attack going in here from the Philippine team. That looked pretty smooth right there. Now you see quite a lot of heel, putting in a lot of effort to get that Genoa to come back and come into the boat. But you see the amount of heel that the boats have right there. They're really overpowered, and teams are going to have to work hard in order to be able to tame these beasts.
Yeah, Malaysia's done very well to come back over here, and it'll be good to see how they decide to execute the downwind again, as they did lose a lot compared to the Filipino team on that first leg downwind. As we can see, Nizam at the back here holding the boat steady, the whole team hiking hard, and he's on board with a very diverse crew. He's got a couple of family members on board, and this team is definitely something to be afraid of if they're nearby. As we can saw, their team did very well in the Gran Canaria event last time, and they have a pretty impressive team on board.
Yeah, for the SSL Gold Cup that was held a couple years ago in the Canaries, this team managed to go from the very bottom of the bracket racing all the way to the quarterfinals, which was amazing. I think they did 13 or something, 13 races. So Malaysians, dangerous boat. They've definitely got some good sailors on that boat. Here we're looking at the 3D model. It looks as though we don't have an image of the weather mark, or I don't know what.
It looks like a change of course, Jan.
Perhaps a change of course.
Looks like Myanmar has found their groove off the right side and took the shift. Looks like they might cross the Malaysians and the Filipinos.
That is a possibility. We did see a little bit of change in the strength of the wind, so perhaps the race committee has decided to lengthen the length of the race course, as it looks like that circle that you're seeing right there was the old windward mark. And there it is. That pink buoy right there is exactly what we were just talking about. So the race committee did decide to make the race course a little bit longer. And so when they do that, they'll change the windward mark and turns into this pink buoy. So now there is no offset mark. So they're just going to go around this and hoist the kite and make it back down to the starting line. So coming around, as we're seeing all the other boats line up, here is Team Thailand about to bear away and to put up their spinnaker for the second time here in this race. Here we go, as we're seeing them
working hard, hoisting the kite, bring her up. Yeah, it looks like they've very clean hoist so far. Let's see if they can keep it down.
Oh, it looks like something right there getting a little bit mixed up in the buttons. Which one's push? What's going on here? We've got Genoa. Somebody released the sheet. The jib sheet right there needs to be pulled in, and that's going to cause all sorts of issues if they don't get that pulled in order to be able to hoist the spinnaker. We know that if the jib is loose, it's going to be really difficult for the spinnakers to go up cleanly. Now let's take a look at this. This is one of the hardest maneuvers right here. They really need to bear away as they're trying to bear away, but there's a lot of heel on the boat, not managing to bear away. Probably. Oh, have they released the Vang? Look at that. See, they're having a really hard time bearing away. They're not able to bear away right there. So they really need to release the mainsail in order to be able to bear away. So we're having a little bit of issues right there on Team Myanmar. This could potentially be dangerous for them, losing their second place.
This is heartbreaking. These maneuvers are where you can really make or break a lot of positions on these race courses. Very
There
short.
we go. Team Philippine just managed to bear away. As you see the distance that it took Myanmar to be able to bear away. And now it looks like it's sort of a tie, but oh, how tough was that? There we go. Finally, Myanmar putting up their spinnaker. So it's all good. It just took a little time to bear away. And it just looks so easy when everything's working so fine. But right there, just a simple bear away. Not that simple.
Yeah, a lot can go wrong in a very short amount of time if not much communication is going on board and the preparations have not been undertaken. For example, right now, the
but look, the Philippines are having problems as well right there.
They just got their spinnaker up, and wow.
They just got their spinnaker up. But look at the tack line. The tack line is about 3 meters away from the bowsprit. So they're going to need to pull that tack line in.
Yeah,
right there, we see the pitman. He's going to need some help because there's no way he can pull that line right there. There are 2 people right there pulling on the tack line. That's they need to get that spinnaker to go down to the pole, which is out in front of the boat. But the amount of pressure, when now you have over 100 square meters of pressure pushing down on this, it's going to be impossible for them to be able to put it on unless they put it around the winch, which is looking like that's what they're doing.
Yeah,
you see it's getting closer. The tack is getting closer to the bowsprit, but it's still not quite there. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. We have a race on our hands. We are 1.7 kilometers away from the finishing line, and we have got a race on our hands right now. 3 boats duking it out to be able to fight for the second place.
Oh, it's neck and neck right now, and I would really want to be in the position of the Malaysians. We're very comfortable. They are overlapped with each and every single boat, and if any of them decides to jibe, they could definitely follow through and cover their wind. So it's very close, and it's going to be interesting to see how Team Myanmar executes the next few minutes and to see how they will try and overtake these 2 boats.
Yeah, it's definitely, they're going to be having to work their sails quite hard. They're going to have to be working the boat and also working the waves. Now let's just see who can go the fastest. Of course, the fastest to the finishing line. 1.5 kilometers away, there's Team Thailand just cruising to their first wind.
Good example. Nice and controlled.
So that must feel really good. You know, the pressure really has been on for Team Thailand. It's a blessing to have Her Majesty the Queen on board. It's also quite a bit of pressure for all of these guys.
Oh, definitely.
And
first race of the event, and having Her Majesty on board as they go in for a jibe. Let's see how they go. Clean.
And she's definitely working, helping them out. So
Beautiful.
Great teamwork from everybody, and this will definitely feel good and maybe relieve a little bit of pressure off their shoulders.
To win the first race of the regatta is definitely a reassuring thing to feel as an athlete, and having myself representing Thailand as well in the last Southeast Asian Games in Cambodia, I really feel for these athletes with the amount of weight on their shoulders.
Yeah, you got a silver medal, didn't you?
I did.
You did.
Yeah, it was a pretty tricky event down in Cambodia. While racing in Sihanoukville. Bloody hot place, but sailing in the Gulf of Thailand, can't complain this year. Beautiful.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Wow.
Wonderful. Look at these images that we have right here of Team Thailand. Our leader with 1 kilometer to go until they cross the finish line, and they'll be taking the gun here for this first race of this first day. We're expecting 3 races today. The wind is up, and we are expecting the wind further, as the week goes by to diminish a little bit. So we're going to take advantage. Oh, look at those images. Just absolutely beautiful. Look at that battle right back there. Those 3 boats are all fighting for second place. So Thailand is out in front. But right now, there's a battle going on between Malaysia, the Philippines, and Myanmar. Look at it. There's nothing in between it. I'm just going to wonder who's going to put in the first jibe.
Oh, if I was Team Malaysia, I'd kind of wait to see what the others do and try to put them in a in a place of hurt, as a lot would like to say. Getting covered is definitely not what you want to be in downwind racing. And oh, looks like Malaysia on board. They're trying to check something, maybe bounce out the boat.
I think they're just trying to get that boat flat. I mean, they definitely saw that they managed to catch a little wave right there. They're surfing, so it's we've got 2 jives coming in right there.
Got Team Philippines.
Looks like Malaysia's being able to jibe right in front. There it is.
Looks like Filipino team's trying to roll over the Malaysian team right now.
Yes, this might happen.
Oh, it's going to be interesting as if Myanmar does realize this opportunity, they could take a nice low mode and maybe try and separate between the two and get their own type of breeze where we have Team Philippines and Malaysia just duking it out on top of each other. It's going to be interesting to see what happens right now.
Yeah, this is always one of those situations which is really difficult because look at it. Between Malaysia and Myanmar right there, there's less than 10 meters in between the two of them to get down to the line. And that just gives a huge opportunity for the third boat to just get out of there. And look at it. It's already changing right now. Myanmar is now up to third place, only now 10 meters beneath Malaysia. So we've got ourselves a battle here. First, second place. As we see Thailand at the bottom of your screen right there, just about to put in a jibe and go in and get that first win, get that 1 point that they need.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to have to execute a final jibe towards the finish line with how it's positioned. So Malaysia might be in a world of hurt right there if they don't get that jibe off cleanly. So let's see if they can execute some nice, good speed going on and try to extend away from the Filipinos, which looks like they're
there
just
it is,
above
Thailand.
them.
They're shaking hands, very, very happy. So congratulations, Thailand, bringing home the first win right there as you see them crossing the line and getting ready to do it all over again. But let's go and take a look at the boats that are behind because this is where the battle is today. And I believe that Myanmar is a lot closer than that than what we're seeing here on the 3D image on the live. It's a big battle between the three of them. There it is. I told you they were going to be close. That is really close. Oh, what an attack! A move right there being made from Myanmar. So trying to go upwind and trying to steal some wind, doing whatever they can in order to be able to get out and bother the two boats out in front. Right there, Philippines and Malaysia. What are
to the riptide over and over. Yeah, we were taking off always running, wasting our days for nothing, singing I love you, with you riding shotgun in my car. Do you remember all of the nights we spent alone? When we were burning the embers, waiting for the sunrise in the morning, bring us home. You know that I do, but tell me, do you remember? There was nothing we were scared of doing when we didn't know the way or where we were going. That was back when forever seemed a million miles away, and we didn't know it. 'Cause we were taking off always running, wasting our days for nothing, saying I love you in the backseat of my car. Well, do you remember died. Swore I was through, but looking at you, I think I changed my mind. Yeah, let's fall in love for the fun of it. Dive in at first and all of it. Oh, what a rush looking into your eyes, playing it off like it's different this time. Let's break our own hearts for the fun of it. One look and I'm dying to run the risk. I'll live in your head for the rest of your life. Oh, won't you be my hopeless Valentine? My God, don't we look good together? I should be running away, but so what, whatever. Oh, last love I found, knees met the ground and all my roses died. Swore I was through, but looking at you, I think I changed my mind. Yeah, let's fall in love for the fun of it. Dive in at first and all of it. Oh, what a rush looking into your eyes, playing it off like it's different this time. Let's break our own hearts for the fun of it. One look and I'm dying to run the risk. I'll live in your head for the rest of your life. Oh, won't you be my hopeless Valentine? Oh, won't you be my hopeless Valentine? Oh, won't you be my hopeless Valentine? You're a bad idea. Oh, but every time I see you, all reason and logic cut their losses. Yeah, let's fall in love for the fun of it. Dive in at first and all of it. Oh, what a rush looking into your eyes, playing it off like it's different this time. Let's break our own hearts for the fun of it. One look and I'm dying to run the risk. I'll live in your head for the rest of your life. Oh, won't you be my hopeless Valentine? Oh, won't you be my hopeless Valentine? Oh, won't you be my hopeless Valentine?
Single your confusion, great brave woman, laughing to illusion. You're not afraid to die, you know dying is alone. Down or up, you're still alone. Laughing or crying, you roll alone. How do you do it? You know I come from pain. You say I can't complain. It's on me. The past is long gone, and the future's unknown. You are telling me it's on me. You are telling me it's on me. He said to be polite, the only way to get what you want, the only way they like you is to stay in line and follow the crowd. But you stand down, black as the night. You know they're all lying. You know I come from pain. You say I can't complain. It's on me.
Hello and welcome back, everybody, to the SEA Games. Sorry about that little technical issue that we just had. We are back, and we are going to be looking at race number 2. So Thailand won the first race that we did. The wind has come back up. We've had time to do a couple little course changes, and now we are ready to get racing underway. As you see, 3 minutes and 45 seconds, Mickey, before the start. And it looks like we're definitely seeing a little bit more wind out there. Interesting now to see what's going to be going on and what is the tactics and strategy of these teams. There you go. As we see Thailand with 1 point right there. It took them 37 minutes and 44 seconds. The time we're trying to arrive to is 45 minutes, so that was a pretty quick race that we just saw. Philippines, Malaysia, Myanmar, and Vietnam. That's for second, third, fourth, and fifth place. Interesting. Look at the time. Just a little bit over 10 seconds between second and third place, and only about 5 seconds in it between Malaysia and Myanmar. So a very, very close battle that we had on the last one. On the last race, our first race of the day, on this day number 1, as we are 2 minutes now, 45 seconds away from the start, as seeing Team Myanmar right there, going behind the race committee boat and putting in a jibe.
Yeah, definitely. We can see that the conditions have definitely picked up. Just from outside from our window, we can really see the Whitecaps showing, as we can see right now. They've done a nice job, and they are leading up towards the start line. Our forecast of the wind shifting to the left did come through, and it has really picked up as the sun come out, really developing this breeze.
Yeah, Mickey, if you look at the front sail of the boats, you see we have now passed onto a J2, and those are our intermediate sails. So wind has definitely come up. Race committee has decided to ask all teams to change that front sail. So we went from a Genoa to now our jib, and this is our intermediate sail. If the wind were to go up even more, we can put an even smaller sail. However, we cannot change the size of the main sail.
Yes.
And we can't put a reef in the main sail either.
Yes.
So 1 minute, 40 seconds, which means that if you can't make the mainsail smaller, then you're definitely going to have to twist it, and you're going to have to give it another shape so that it's not as powerful.
Yes, definitely. We have all sorts of control lines that adapt the shape of the sail to be able to have more power, or to just reduce the power in the sail to make it more manageable. We're coming to 1 minute and 15 seconds to the line. A lot of boats are putting a lot of distance towards the line, and you may ask this question, why? And a lot of these boats, they have timed their time and distance, which means the amount of time it takes to get to the line, and a lot of them have been practicing and executing this to be able to go at full speed across the line, which is the goal that they want to have for each start. As we can see here, Malaysia and the Philippines are lining up towards the right side of the committee. Looks like they want to go for a long starboard play.
Yeah, you see on the right-hand side there, Thailand, Philippines, and Malaysia, all sort of coming out over to the right-hand side. Looks like Myanmar is also getting into the game. It looks as though Vietnam right now is just happy to be able to get a good start and try to be a little bit closer. It is a good battle right now between all teams. As you see the bowman right there in the front of the boats telling them skippers, okay, we're good on time and distance that you were just talking about, Mickey. With 15 seconds left to go, right now is really important that they power up these boats. As you see them cruising into the starting line, 10 seconds. Some of the boats, one of the boats right up there is not is going to be very, very close. The first boat right there, 1 second. Yeah, very nice start. So clean start right there. And just at least a boat length and a half in front of everybody else. Was that the Philippine boat right there?
Yeah, it looks like the Filipino boat has a beautiful clear start, good wind, clear lane, and they're definitely going to be able to dictate and lead the pack towards the top mark right now.
What a good start for Team Philippines right there, hitting the time and distance absolutely perfectly on, having maximum speed getting across that starting line. Looks like Thailand came in a little bit afterwards right now, so a little bit less pressure right now for Thailand, having seen that they've won the first race. But we've got ourselves a a sailing race right here to the right-hand side. Vietnam is just a little bit behind as they got to start just a couple seconds after the others, as we are right now looking on to Myanmar team. Again, very, very close racing as everybody is hiking out right there. And right now, it's just a question of speed. It's a drag race off of the starting line right now. It's really important right now for Team Myanmar to be able to have that speed and not get covered by the boat, the Malaysian boat, which you see on the left-hand side of your screen right now. So low mode right now for both of these boats, trying to stay out there in front. And the Philippines doing a great job. Still our leader right there with 23 meters ahead of the others. As we see Thailand right now in 4th place, but also Thailand is the boat which is the most in the middle of the course.
It is. You could say they're in a little bit of a world of hurt, getting a little bit of dirty wind from the Filipino in front. But they could have a strategy to try and hold off all the boats ahead and prevent them from tacking. So, to all those non-sailors out there, these boats, they are currently running upwind. This is a leg or angle of sailing where you are going 45 degrees to the wind on average, where you're going to try and go as close to the wind as you can to be able to make your way up to the top mark. And in these boats will maneuver from port to starboard with tack, and they will decide this based on the wind as they're going. As we can see behind, we have Vietnam who execute attack. Maybe they see something out towards the right side, and pretty much upwind sailing really does dictate how your race goes towards.
Yeah, it was important, I think, right there for Team Vietnam to be able to tack away and get into some clear air. As we saw, they were behind the other 4 boats and just getting perturbed air, and that's basically just air coming off of the other boats, which is will be shaking around a little bit. And so if you can have what we call clear air, which is unperturbed air, then you're putting, let's say, more chances on your side.
Exactly. Just like in motorsport racing, if you have clear air in front of you, you're going to go quicker.
Absolutely. So right now we're still in this drag race right here as we see Myanmar really look at that. We've got 3 boats in the image right now. So it is a really, really close race. It looks like low as Team Myanmar right now is managing to perhaps squeeze out the Malaysian boat. Right there, look at the Malaysian boats now having tack away. So good job there for Team Myanmar, which was able to take the advantage on the Malaysian boat right there, pushing them to the other side. Now that might be a good thing for the Malaysian boat. We'll see what happens as we're seeing a cross between Malaysia and Thailand. Malaysia going behind. Obviously, it's a port starboard situation, so Malaysia not having the right of way over the Thai boat. As you see Malaysia right there on a port tack, heading off to the left-hand side of your screen, which would be the right-hand side of the race area.
Yes, definitely. We can see here the Philippines, they're holding a really nice lane, trying to dictate the race, trying to see if they can squeeze the Thais out, and maybe if they get a chance to tack out and lead the race towards the right side. The more distance that they put between each other, the more risk they put into their race plan. We are sailing in Mother Nature, so Mother Nature is ever changing every second. All the conditions you have are never the same every day you go sailing, so these sailors are really put on edge and having to make good decisions on the fly.
Yeah, and part of those decisions is, do you go off by yourself and sort of attempt to try to get back into to get back with the others, as we saw Team Vietnam going all the way off to the right, or do you stick with the others? So this is what we're seeing right now between the Philippines, Myanmar, and Thailand, which are the 3 boats right here that you're seeing that are sailing together. So the advantage of sailing with against your enemies, shall we say? Well, they're not your enemies, but against other boats is to stay with them. If you stay with them, then the chances of you being left alone are a little bit lower. It is, as we were saying, just risky for a boat to go off by themselves. But we did see Vietnam, which is off on the right-hand side, trying to pull something out of the hat.
Oh, there it goes.
Trying to come back in.
Looks like Myanmar just went for attack. Looks like a good moment, a good opportunity to try and put Thailand in in a sticky situation of deciding whether to go with the fleet towards the right side or continue with Philippines, who are leading the race right now as we speak. We're on board with Myanmar right now. They're hiking hard. Let's see if they can manage to catch up that 50-meter lead, 50-meter deficit, so I'd say, to the Philippines. And we see here we're on board with Situ, the bronze at the SEA Games. They're all working hard as one unit to try and get this boat as fast through the water as they can.
Yeah, absolutely. And we still, right now, here we go. We have Thailand right there, and the Philippines. The Philippines is the boat number 2, which is at the bottom of your screen, and you just saw Thailand now tacking away. So that's a good thing for the Philippines because they were stuck with Thailand pushing them out to the boundary layer, out to the left-hand side. So as soon as the Thai boat tacked, there you go. Now you have the Philippine boat that was out there. So Philippine boat was number 1, still is our leader, but was being a little bit harassed right there by Thailand, being pushed out to the left-hand side of the race course.
Yeah, the Thais really caught back up after their race start, being squeezed out from the race committee just now, and it's a nice conservative tactical decision from the Philippine team, tacking right after the Thai team and just trying to reduce that distance between all the boats just to have that compelling.
Look at the difference between the two boats right there. As you see our first boat, which is right in front of us, the Philippine team. And you look at the Thai team, it looks like the Thai team's boat is a little bit flatter, a little bit more upright.
Yes, they're definitely having to flap their mainsail a bit just to depower when those big gusts hits. It is very gusty out there today, as we do have a lot of land effect and geological effects towards our course. We may be far out, but they are big buildings out there, and these gusts, when they hit hard.
Yeah, they're several hundred meters tall. These buildings that we have behind us, probably 150 meters or something like that. So there's definitely a wind shadow that's being casted out over towards the marina that you see it right there in the background. But out here, it's a different story. And as you see, we've got some really good chop, which is on these boats. So making for some exciting races. But look at the speed. Look at the speed that Thailand has right there. Yes, they're in 3rd place right now, but we're 1.4 kilometers away from the weather mark. And Thailand looks fast to me.
Yeah, definitely. And on top of that, we can see that the Malaysians have taken the lead. They have found their 6th gear, or 7th gear, you might say, and really extended their lead towards the right. That could have come with a little bit more breeze or a random gust or even just a little wind shift. And as the more distance, as you put, with some mathematics, a little bit of angle with more distance will change the pace of the race a lot. So Malaysia is in quite a comfortable position right now, and it'll be quite interesting to see when they will execute their way back to try and put that lead into their pockets.
Something interesting that perhaps if you didn't join us here on the first race that you should know about, the Queen of Thailand, Her Majesty, the Queen, is sailing on the Thai boat, and she is responsible as a strategist. She's in the back of the boat, and right next to her is another woman, and her name is Nai, and she is at the helm.
Yeah, definitely. It is quite an honor to have the Queen herself to compete at the Southeast Asian Games this year, held in Thailand, and her royal family doesn't shy away from sailing. Her grandfather, King Bhumipol, King Rama IX, he was a very avid sailor, and she has been in the sailing scene over the last few years, racing on the TP52. And here she is now on the SSL47 for the Southeast Asian Games, representing Thailand. It is an incredible honor to have her on board, and she's really a big fan of the sport. And we can't do any more than what she's doing right now. And as a strategist, she's really giving her best insight into the sport as well.
Yeah, you can see her there on the right-hand side. She's hiking. She's holding on to the runner right there. So she definitely doing everything she can in order to be able to help that boat stay as flat as possible. She's been sailing here with the rest of the crew for the last couple weeks, getting used to these boats. Just a reminder, this is the first time the SSL47 boat is being used here at the Southeast Asian Games, as we've never had a boat this big, and we've never been able to broadcast. Also, the SEA Games has never been able to broadcast the way we're bringing this to you right now, live with obviously this beautiful 3D image that we have right now. This is live of what's going out on the water. As as we can see the Malaysian boat off to the right-hand side coming back into the picture. So it looks like we've got ourselves a race, ladies and gentlemen, as 4 boats here within 80 meters. And this is on the first beat as we're going up towards the weather mark, the windward mark. 680 meters, a little bit less right now as we get ready to get to that windward mark, which is the turnaround point where we're going to be going back downwind and putting up the spinnakers, and let's see what's going to happen as now look at all that wind out there. So definitely some we got 2 boats coming together now. Is that an optical illusion, or are they closer or further away than what we're seeing? Because the Malaysian boat has the right of way, so potentially here is Thailand going to make it across.
Wow.
Yes, it looks like, woo, that was close.
That was close.
But enough room, plenty of room for Thailand to cross across the bow of the Malaysian boat. Malaysian boat had the right of way, being on starboard, Thailand being on port. And they deemed they had enough room, and yes, they did. So Philippines still our leader as we are getting closer and closer to the windward mark. Second place, Thailand, followed by Malaysia, Myanmar, and Vietnam.
Yeah, definitely. With racing being this close within 100 meters, it's anyone's game right now. As we saw in the last race, these maneuvers around these top marks are crucial to your race plan, and planning ahead and preparing for it is definitely a really big step for each team to try and make sure they get their crosses, get their boxes crossed off and ticked off to make sure that they execute a clean mark rounding. There we see Malaysia going for attack, and sailing is a non-contact sport. We have rules of the way, rules of the road, as you might say, with port and starboard, with starboard being the right of way. So it'll be quite interesting to see here how Malaysia is going to execute their top mark rounding, as they had a really close top mark rounding in the first race with the Filipino team.
As a matter of fact, this morning in the skipper's briefing, it was clearly stated by the head of the jury that any sort of dangerous sailing or anything deemed to be a dangerous sailing attitude will be given points off. So you don't even need to come into contact. If you start sailing in a manner which is dangerous to the boats and to the people, you can get points off. So it's really a strategy game, and it's a gentleman's game as we try to respect the rules and let each other go past. This doesn't take away from the racing. Look at this.
They are so close.
A lot of wind right now coming up as we're coming up here to the windward mark. Now let's see this bear away. We see Myanmar had a really tough time on the last race to be able to bear away. Oh, look at the amount of wind. You can see it right there as they were tacking into those ships. So here we go. Bear away right now for the Philippines, as they are our #1 team, and managing to bear away and open up that main sail. It looks as though Team Thailand... Right there, exactly. So now everybody's getting everything ready. Remember, they have to go off to another yellow buoy, which is to our right-hand side right there. There you go. It's you're seeing it at this point right now. They're going to be bearing away even more and putting up their spinnaker. So here we go, as we're seeing a hoist right there from the Philippine team. It looks like a good hoist. There it is. Very nice hoist, Team Philippine. And now they really need to get that jib down. A little slow, very slow on the Team Philippine to get the jib down. Looks like perhaps they decided they're going to keep it up. So the same thing on Team Thailand. Let's see what's going on here with Myanmar, which has managed to bear away, so that's good news. And they're heading off towards the that second yellow mark that you just saw there in the background. There goes the spinnaker. Oh, it's always a little bit... it's such a delicate moment right there as they're hoisting the spinnaker. If the spinnaker at that point goes into the water, it could potentially spell disaster. I mean, we could have, not only is it going to stop the boat, but it could potentially rip the spinnaker. And if they rip their spinnaker, they don't have a second spinnaker for the downwind. So there you go. So they got to be really careful about putting up that spinnaker and making sure that it goes up real quick.
Yeah, right now we're on board with Team Myanmar, and we can see them communicating really well, trying to get as much speed out of these boats on this downwind leg. Downwind sailing is a point of sail in sailing where you follow the wind. same direction as the wind and try to. It's the most beautiful aspect of sailing, I would like to say. You get to surf these waves and you're trying to connect them. It's like you're playing a game while doing sport, and you can see them all working hand in hand to try and squeeze as much speed out of their sails as they can, working hard and trying to communicate between every puff and luff, and just.
Yeah, you see the two guys on the left right there. They're both what we call grinders, and they're trimming the sails. And basically what they're doing is they're pulling in the sail and making it a little bit tighter as somebody else is releasing it. So everybody has a job, and everybody has to work together. And if you start adding things together, sheeting in and setting your sails, and the weight is in the correct place, and start surfing the waves, it can make for a really enjoyable downwind blast.
Yeah, it looks like on the leaderboard right now we have Thailand just on the hip of Philippines, just 30 meters just behind them.
Okay, look at this right here. We see the Philippine crew now has come back a little bit further back into the boat, trying to place a little bit of more weight in the back to get the bow to not go into the waves, to be able to keep that momentum as they're going downwind. Obviously, the more water they're going to be pushing, the worse it is. Here we go, jibe. I love how the images just stay still for a second. You can really see everybody working.
The most crucial moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa!
Oh, here we go. No, are we going for a broach?
Oh, they saved it.
They just saved it. Yeah, when you get this much wind and these big spinnakers, you can wipe out. So basically, too much power in the sail and the boat broaches, and it can be dangerous. You see how close the two boats are to one another. They could potentially get very close.
Yes, indeed. And we can see here right now the Thai team has jibed, and they have rolled over the Filipino team, as it seems. Oh, they're working real hard trying to get that advantage and maybe put the Filipino into their wind shadow. Being in a wind shadow of another boat is not where you want to be. You have less clear wind and you are a lot slower, especially on these downwind legs. So being behind is definitely an advantageous spot to try and catch up.
Yeah, for sure. It's being behind, you're the first one to get the wind because the wind is coming from behind you. So that is an advantage. Obviously, being out in front is also another advantage.
Definitely. Now, as we can see here, the Malaysians went for an earlier jibe, and maybe they're trying to get a gust off to the left and try and work their way back to try and maybe cut in front of the Thai team.
As we focus here on the first four boats of our 5 boats that are out sailing, here as we are on board right now with the Philippine team.
Oh, it's so close. It's just 10 meters between them.
Yeah, good communication right there. Everybody just sitting back right now, waiting until the next jibe is going to be put in as they get closer and closer down to the leeward gates. So those gates, basically, let's explain what happens now as these boats are going downwind. They're going to arrive to the downwind marker, the downwind buoy, and we have 2 of them. So it means that they can decide whether they want to take the left one or the right one. They just have to enter this gate between the 2 buoys. And so this gives them a little bit of opportunity. They could go up on the left-hand side or on the right-hand side of the race course, depending on what they want. If they want more breeze, they want less waves. It depends on the tactic and the strategy of
and the tactician on board. And it's a unique sport where you do have to look around, and you start to learn all strange skills like reading wind. How can you read wind? And analyzing the cloud formations. As today we have a little bit of clouds, and every little puff does benefit these boats, as it's so close as we know. Between the first to third place, there are only 20 meters between each other. These boats are quite big, and that is nothing at all.
Yeah, learning how to navigate on these boats is one thing. Once you've learned how to deal with the boat, then you start learning how to deal with the sails. And once you've learned that, then you start looking around you and start finding out where there's more wind and what's happening in the skies. And you need to know a lot of things. It takes a while for sailors to be able to understand. And this is something also which we need to mention about the SEA Games, is that we've got younger members on the teams, and we've got a little bit more experienced, shall we say, members on the team, because we
definitely
have
better.
juniors that are on this, that are coming out of the 470, or that are coming out of the laser class, which
Of course.
aren't used to sailing on a big boat like this.
Yeah, definitely. The Malaysian team, of course, has a veteran on board, Nizam on helm, multiple-time Olympian. And as we get to the bottom mark right now, they're preparing to round the bottom mark. That is a nice drop from the Filipino team as they look to round the left side.
And I believe that's Thailand right there.
Oh, my bad.
But wonderful drop, yeah. It's, you see, as long as the spinnaker is not going into the water, which is what's happening right here. Who's this? So this is an example of what you don't want to do.
That spinnaker hits the water. It is going to be a handbrake. As you can see right now, they are stopped in the water trying to drag this massive cloth out of the water. It is a lot of drag, and it can spell disaster, as it is right now for the Filipino team.
Oh, no. Filipina. That's terrible. They were so close. Oh, but it also looks like, it looks like Malaysia is having issues with their spinnaker. So let's see what's going on, because now that they're having a little bit of issue putting that spinnaker inside their boat, perhaps what we're going to see is problems when we get to the weather mark now to pull out the spinnaker for the second time. For the second time they go downwind.
Yeah, definitely.
So now they've got it in the boat, but they still have to go downwind one more time.
If that's twisted or if there's a knot, ooh, that can spell disaster.
Oh, look at here. You can see that the Philippines have had to, well, looks like Myanmar as well, had a little bit of issue with their kite. So pretty close for the Philippines and Malaysia, as they were close to Thailand. Has this come out again?
Yeah, they still haven't gotten in yet. They're really struggling.
Now, let's just hope they can get it in without tearing it. If they tear it, it's going to be a disaster. Look at Myanmar on the left-hand side right there,
behind.
managing to go around the gate. They went around the left gate, and they're
can
going
see.
back up. Oh, look at the spare on the Philippine team right there. Oh no, that's terrible. They were in second
Heartbreaking.
place. Now they're in fourth.
Like we said, these maneuvers are critical into your races. As the Filipinos, they got their spinnaker in the water and they just pulled the handbrake. They are going nowhere until that gets out of the water.
Oh, and now the whole thing is wet and it's inside the boat. And oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. This is not the end of the story. We're going to see what happens here as they're going to get back up to the weather mark. We did see Team Vietnam, which is quite far away. So is Team Vietnam okay? I'm pretty sure they didn't put their spinnaker up. Oh, look at that. The spinnaker pole is still out there on the Filipino boat. Oh, what's going on here? Everybody here on the fifth boat here on Team Vietnam is looking into the water. Oh, no. Oh, there's a kite. There's a sail in the water right there on the left-hand side. Oh, so they did try to... Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. What's going on? It looks like the runner has been completely left. Okay. We've got... there are some issues right there right now on the race course with Team Vietnam, which looks like they're stopped out in the middle of the race course. Big problems for the Philippine team, which had issues with their kite and stayed for quite a while with their spinnaker into the water. And they're also having a problem putting in their spinnaker pole back into the boat. It's still out there, still another 20, 30 centimeters outside the boat. So it definitely looks like the wind is coming up and is causing all sorts of problems for our teams out there right now. Let's see what's going to happen with
there's a slip.
race committee and what they decide to do.
Yeah, so right now it looks like a two-boat match racing going on between Thailand and Malaysia. This can spell a good chance for the Team Myanmar to come back and sneak in while both of the other teams are, deciding on how to cover each
Myanmar's a
other.
little far back behind right now, but look at, it just increased. Oh, look at that. You can really see the white caps in the background right there as we see that the wind has definitely gone up. We see all the teams having issues. And just getting to the other side of the boat right there, it looks like if in the background, is that the Vietnamese team that is behind stopped over there?
Looks like they might have to retire.
Oh, and they've taken down their front sail, so it looks like J2 is down on the Vietnamese team, probably retiring. Oh, I just hope they didn't put that spinnaker into the keel, because if that's the case, that could spell disaster for that spinnaker. If they break that, that's going to be terrible. A lot of things going on here on the second race, Mickey.
Second race of the regatta, and we're getting all sorts of shows going on right now. Right now, Thailand and Malaysia, it looks like they're dueling it out on that right side of the course. Oh, Team Thailand going in for a nice tack. Probably trying to cover the Malaysian team. Nice, clean, executed tack.
Looks like Team Thailand doing faring very well with this wind. Oh, there comes one guy sliding into our view. You can't tell. I mean, it's slippery when they step on the ropes, and that's one of the things that as a coach, you're always telling your team is, make sure that boat is clean, because well, that's what happens. You step on the rope and then you slide across the whole thing. Obviously, no problems there, but you can imagine how you could easily twist an ankle or something like that.
Definitely.
Yeah, there we go. That's Team Vietnam right there, definitely having issues. So they're probably going to retire. As we are currently looking at Team Malaysia and Thailand. Malaysia right there on boat number 8. You see the bow, the front of the boat. You've got the number of the boat. Boat and the bow number 8 for Malaysia, bow number 6.
Yeah, definitely. Thailand has been working really hard there on the right. Team Malaysia just rounded just behind Team Thailand at the bottom mark, and already Thailand has put 100 meters between Team Malaysia. And this is where each maneuver and the practice of each maneuver comes into play, as the less speed you lose, the more you lose as you duel out between boat, like we have right now with Thailand versus Malaysia, as Malaysia executing a nice, clean tack, keeping it simple, keeping it fast. It's the name of the game.
Yeah, it's with this wind and these waves, it's really, you can really lose a lot of speed very quickly. So it's super important that when you do attack and you do go through the wind, that you make sure that you don't waste any time with your sails not being pulled in properly, or that you're too much into the wind. You really want to make that quick, and you can see right there Team Thailand doing a great job at doing a nice quick tack in order to not lose any speed and keep their progression going towards the weather mark.
Yeah, definitely. These boats weigh a couple tons, and trying to keep that momentum between the waves and the tacks is crucial to just keep the boat going through the water. These are the first ever events in Thailand for the Southeast Asian Games that we have these keel boats in, these SSL47s. They are a one design boat, so everybody has the same equipment, and this really levels the playing field for all, as it really puts each sailor under pressure to try and perform well and understand the conditions as well as we can. And on board Team Thailand here, we do have Her Majesty's presence on board. It is an honor to have her. And what can you tell me more about the SSL47, Jan?
SSL47 is an unbelievable boat. Like you said, all the boats belong to the SSL. And we're just using it as a platform here for the SEA Games. So hopefully we'll be able to use it as a platform for other events as well in the future. Next year we have the SSL Gold Cup, which will be in Rio. And so make sure you tune along and watch as teams from across the whole world will be competing to become the nation's world champion in Rio next year. But right here at the SEA Games, the Southeast Asian Games, we only have teams from Asia, as we are looking onto Thailand right here. And you can see to the right-hand side right there, looking into that compass, is Her Majesty the Queen of Thailand, as she has the strategist and tactician's position. And right to the next of her is Nai, who is an extremely good skipper. As a matter of fact, she was back in the day, she was a world champion in the Opti class.
Yeah, definitely. She's an idol for many, many Optimus sailors here in Thailand. She did lead one of the strongest repeat charges in the Optimus world. She has won multiple world championships, as well with a 29er world championship, and she has many medals under her belt, and she is an incredible skipper.
Yeah, but she's an amazing person as well. we know she also plays sports. I know she plays ice hockey. Apparently, she's a pilot. She flies a plane.
Yes, Her Majesty, yes, she is. She is quite an incredible person.
So it's great to have somebody like that, especially in our sport here, and to have sailing. And hopefully, we'll have a lot of people watching these boats in these just unbelievable conditions. Really starting to see the boat nice and wet right there. Waves coming over as everybody is holding on as long as they can. It's not easy hiking out there for this long. And you can see a little bit of the struggle on the right-hand side right there on Team Malaysia.
Yeah, we definitely got to get as much weight out as we can on these boats. Flatter boat is a faster boat. We have more righting moment, and the physics of the boat dictates that as the boat is going upwind, that is what we need. So the weight of the overall weight of the team is very critical, and I'm sure each team has put that into consideration and has chosen the best people as they can to perform in these events.
Yeah, I think we were looking at the trimmer Latif earlier, who definitely looked like she was very concentrated to be able to stay out there and keep that weight out there, keep that boat as right as possible. Looking very good right now. Looks like those mainsails, they've managed to find the right setting and get a nice twist on them. And it looks like the sails are not flapping around as much as they were earlier in the first race. So a lot of wind, but the teams seem to be now getting these boats more and more under control, as we see tack being put in right there by Myanmar team.
Yeah, definitely. We're getting into the 500 meters to the top mark, and the teams will start deciding and preparing for their top mark roundings. As we can see, disaster can spell if that is not done ahead of time and into consideration of what needs to be done. These teams have prepared for it, but with these conditions, anything can happen.
All right, here we go. Definitely needing some help to get back into the boat, as Malaysia is now putting in a tack, which I believe should be the last tack before they arrive to the windward mark.
That's a nice, clean, executed tack. Yeah, it's not their first rodeo, Team Malaysia, having finished 10th overall in the SSL Gold Cup in the last few years in the Canary Islands. They were the underdog of that season, and they've really shined and performed. And we'll see how well they can translate that performance over into the 33rd Southeast Asian Games here in Thailand.
Yeah, we had two teams that were just absolutely amazing. Malaysia was one, and Tahiti also was one of those teams that made everybody dream as they were just going through the rounds. And so, yeah, really interesting to see that these teams can be the underdog, but can come out really far on top. And as a matter of fact, I want to say hello to everybody around the world who's listening to us, because we've had a lot of comments on YouTube, Facebook, and just want to say hello to all the sailors from across the world that are listening in. Thanks a lot for tuning in. We hope you enjoy this, and hopefully you'll be able to go out sailing soon. I'm sure that most of you are looking at these weather conditions here, and beautiful sunshine, 30 degrees out there, and just beautiful sailing conditions. Unbelievable, as we are arriving now at the weather mark with our leader, Team Thailand.
Yeah, definitely. They've done really well up this race course. They have read the wind as well as they can, and even put 50 extra meters to the Malaysian team. So let's see them execute this top mark rounding and see how the bow man performs his role.
Here we go, as they're starting to sheet out a little bit on the main, bearing away. As, now we just saw Team Thailand right there get to the weather mark as they're going to the offsets. So it definitely looks like the wind was stable in terms of direction and strength, as we are back to the yellow wind, markers.
Yeah, you can see the conditions have really picked up now, and these are glamour conditions. Short chop, couple meters, maybe half to a meter, and just beautiful conditions. As Malaysia does a mark rounding, here they go.
Yeah, don't touch the mark. So just a reminder, if they do touch the mark, they're going to have to do a 360. So they do get a penalty for touching the mark. We know there is a little bit of current out here. So they've got to make sure they stay away. They got to be close to the mark, but not too close, because if they touch it, then it's disaster.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like Team Philippines have really worked their way up. They've worked hard and really closed the gap towards Team Myanmar. And let's see if they can manage to climb up another spot if they can and get third place in this race.
So it looks like Thailand, Malaysia have made it across. Have made it to the offset mark and have now put their spinnakers up as we now wait for Myanmar and the Philippines to arrive as well to the offset mark.
Thailand working really hard, putting even more distance, and we are so lucky to have this feed, this 3D view, to really be tracking these races. Sailing is an incredible sport, and not having this technology like what we have right now has been made it so difficult. And we are onboard cameras. Doesn't get better than this.
Yeah, the onboard cameras right here that you're seeing just in front of the driving pedestal for our skipper. Right there, as you see, that's the grinder right there, turning those handles. And basically what he's doing is he's sheeting in, so that means he's pulling on the rope that is holding the spinnaker, the big white sail right there. And the orange or pink rope that you're seeing out in front there, that is the sheet. You see, every time he turns it, you can see the sheet coming back a little bit to the right and then being eased out by another person. Here we go for a jive on the boat as they're going to put all the sails on the other side of the boat. We got to get that mainsail to get to the other side. And here we go. As our mainsail trimmer right there was pulling on that black rope, which is just right in front of you. So that's the mainsail. And again, here we go. Grinder grinding, turning the winch, which is on the right-hand side where the pink rope is around. And that's basically how we adjust the sails on these boats.
Yeah, that was a really clean, well-executed jive by Team Thailand. They must have practiced that.
Look at the pitman.
At the time.
Here we go. Look at the pitman over on the left-hand side. Right there. Oh, nice big wave right there. Just plowed right on top of the boat. So pitman right there was just putting up the jib. It looks like right now they're going to do a windward drop as they're going to perhaps drop the kite, or they're putting up the jib because they see that the wind has gotten a little bit stronger and they want to maintain a little bit more power, which is kind of looking like that's what they're doing right now.
Yeah, it's glamour conditions. These boats really, really perform well in this stuff. They're surfing the waves. They're just plowing through these things, and it's a pleasure to sail. You've been on them, no, Jan?
Yeah, I've been on these boats actually quite a bit. They can get up. Yeah, they can get up and go. I think the fastest I've ever been on one is 21 knots. So that's really fast, but you easily get past 15, 17 knots. And I suspect that's where they're at right now. They're probably, obviously they don't want to go super fast. They want to get to their objective, right? The point is not to make a speed run. The point is to get to around the race course as fast as possible
with the least amount of distance.
Yeah, exactly. So they're not going to be looking really for speed. They're really going to be looking for VMG, velocity made good.
Definitely. That's a key term in our sport of sailing, trying to translate as much speed into the closest distance to the mark that we're going to. What a shot, huh? Drone view.
I love it. Look at this. Just beautiful.
Backdrop of Pattaya in the background. We're so lucky to have the Southeast Asian Games being hosted across 3 different provinces. It's the first time ever. Of course, we're having a lot of the competition back in Bangkok, the capital. Beautiful city. If you've ever been, you got to come. Hot spot of the world, and we're here in Chonburi. It's hosting a few events as well, just like this SSL47 for the keel boats. And unfortunately, with a lot of the cyclones that we've had in the south and Songkhla, they've had to relocate that the events in that province back up to Bangkok, but they've made it a smooth sailing, as you could say.
I like it. I like smooth sailing. This is definitely smooth and fast sailing that we have right here. Look at Team Malaysia. They've all gotten on the right-hand side as we're seeing water come over the deck here of Team Thailand. Team Thailand really pushing the envelope, trying to go as fast as they can, working those sails. Look at Nai. She's just holding on to that, that steering wheel. It looks like the boat's accelerating so fast. You can really feel the power of the boat. You see how that boat just right there just got flat and started to accelerate? When they go down these waves, it's the coolest feeling of
definitely.
just sliding, gliding. You really...
It's absolutely just like surfing a nice long board, but these things weigh tons.
Yeah,
So
they weigh 3.3 tons.
You got a massive thing flying through the water and just planing. It's incredible. It's a feeling that you won't really feel until you're on board.
Let's take a look here. They're putting in a final jibe as they're getting down to the bottom of the race course. Oh, knocking the boat down. I love it.
Good save, good save.
Yeah, Nai with a big smile on her face. All right, what's going on here? They're gonna... Yeah, it's tough, huh? There, you see a lot of things going on. They gotta put that jib back up real quick. They're gonna try to not go too far.
Get to the finish line.
They gotta get to the finish line. So that was the leeward gate right there. It looks like, oh, you can see the water coming out of the boat right now. So the pumps in the boat are currently working. So definitely that boat with a little bit of water.
Yeah, definitely. You can see the bowman in front. Mook. They've crossed the line. Congratulations,
There we
Team
go.
Thailand. Oh, hey. There we go.
Awesome. Beautiful. So second first place for Team Thailand. So that's a first and a first, putting up 2 points on the leaderboard for Team Thailand, doing a great job. And it looks like Malaysia is the next boat to be coming in. A little, not as close this race right here between all the boats. Nevertheless, what a race it was, and those pictures are just unbelievable. Here we go, as Team Malaysia right there is crossing the finish line with the finishing pin and the finishing boat right there that you just saw into your picture.
Yeah, definitely. It's a dream start for Team Thailand, and let's see if they can keep it up for the next race and the next few days we have ahead.
Definitely, it's a great way to start the day. Today we will be having 3 races, or at least that's what was announced this morning. Now let's see what the decision of the race committee will be, if they decide to keep that third race or not. It's not over yet. Boats 1 and 2 have crossed the finishing line. It looks like now Myanmar is coming across the line in 3rd place. They'll be happy about that. That means that they've caught up 1 place from the last one, so getting a little bit better. They look very happy.
That's what you need. That's what you like to see. But heartbreak for Team Philippines.
Philippines, they were doing really well. They got the
leading.
best start of the race, and wow! But the speed of Thailand, unbelievable to come back. Thailand with not such a great start, but wow, the speed Thailand has, and the efficiency in which they can do their maneuvers means that they were brought right back up to the front.
Yeah, definitely. And having such a broad crew on board, of course, a couple gold medalists for this recent SEA Games as well. Congratulations to Ne and Tham in the 470 for winning their gold medal yesterday. They are on board. And yeah, just on back to the fact of Team Philippines just making a critical error with their drop at the bottom mark and losing from 1st place to 4th place. A heartbreak.
Yeah, it's always putting the spinnaker up and then dropping it is always problematic. Oh no, did they do it again? Yeah, it looks like they did it again, and they dropped it again into the water. So race is over, but it's still hard. It's still hard. I mean, it's a lot of sail area. We're talking 230 square meters of sail for these boats. That it's a lot to handle. And right now, there's definitely some wind out on the race course right there. I'm probably guessing where we've got at least 15 knots out on the race course. I am wondering what happened to Team Vietnam, because we haven't seen them. The last time we saw them, they were stopped out in the middle of the race course.
Yeah, it looks like they're retired and must
Here
have
we
had
go.
a critical break.
So I've just been told they have retired. This is the results for race number 2 as Thailand wins it. Just behind them is Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, and Vietnam retired. That's why they have 6 points. And now let's take a look at the overall results. We know that Thailand has won twice, so that'll put them in first place, secure first place with 2 points. And it'll be interesting to see Malaysia, Myanmar, and Philippines and see where they're at. It's going to be a close race.
Yeah, definitely.
For this third race that'll be coming up soon. Once again, we are planning on having 3 races, but we will see, depending on how much wind there is. Race committee can decide to cancel and bring all the boats back into the harbor. The harbor, which is on your screen right there. That's where we are staying currently. So here it is. The overall results. Thailand with 2 points. Malaysia 5. Philippines 6. Myanmar 7. Vietnam 11. So 5, 6, and 7. That's really close right there for the second place. Interesting.
Yeah, definitely. It was super critical in that last downwind where Philippines, Myanmar, and Malaysia were all neck to neck, and wow, it was incredible what Philippines did and managed to overtake Malaysia in that race. But it's anyone's game still. We have many more races ahead, and
that's right. And you see right here, we have 8 races that are planned. If we do manage to get 8 races in, the worst one will be dropped.
Yes.
So we'll see what happens at the end of these couple days here as the points start stacking up, and I'm thinking it's going to be a close one. I'm definitely thinking we're going to have ourselves a race on our hands.
Oh, definitely. It's anyone's game, and we look forward to really see how Team Malaysia, Philippines, Thailand, and Myanmar and Vietnam can battle it out.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, those were the 2 first races of day number 1 here for the SEA Games and the mixed team events for sailing on the SSL47. Stick with us as we'll be back for our regularly planned race number 3.
just what I'm longing for. When times are getting crazy and everything seems hazy, is there some place for safety I could go? Run away, run away, run away into your escape. Run away, run away, run away, you're never too far to run. Run away, run away, run away into your escape. Run away, run away, run away. Run away, run away, run away. Run away, run away, run away into your escape. Run away, run away, run away, you're never too far to run. Run away, run away, run away into your escape. Run away, run away, run away. Run away, run away, run away. You like that? We feel that vibe all night. You know, I don't even really know where to begin, because it seems like every time I get ahead, I end up going 2 steps back. So tonight, I'm just gonna let this one ride. You know what I mean? One unique, one special night.
Welcome back, everybody, as we are getting ready for race number 3 of the day. As you can see here on the bottom right-hand side of your screen, we are 4 minutes away from the start, and the wind is still blowing. We've got 16 to 18 knots of wind out there, so really great sailing conditions. A little bit on the stronger side of the spectrum.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to really test these sailors to their maximum capabilities and capacities as we see the Blue Peter go up for the 4 minutes. We can see on the race committee that we have a bearing of 320. That is the direction of the wind, and that is spot on with the forecast that we have today. And yes, these beautiful conditions as we have today in the Gulf of Thailand, you can't really beat it, can you?
No, you can't beat it. There it is. Look at it. 30 degrees temperature. Wind direction is 330. Actually at 320 right now. 15 to 18 knots. That's what we were just told by a race committee. As you can see right there in front of us is a little motorboat with an orange flag. Those 2 orange flags, that is our virtual line that the boats will be crossing right there as we see them get aligned. The black flag on the boat that is on the far end over there with a star, that's for the series, so for the star boats, and the flag to the right of that, which is a blue flag with a white square. That means that we are inside 4 minutes. So on the bottom right hand side of your screen, 2:45 is time remaining until the start, as we are right now on live with the Vietnamese team, having a little bit of an issue on the last race. With their spinnaker getting apparently wrapped under the keel or around the keel. Now all is good. They have managed to sort that out, and they are ready for race number 3.
Yeah, definitely. And we can see the Malaysians preparing to set up their pre-start checks and pre-start setup as they decide which side of the line that they want to start on to dictate their race strategy, whether if it's a long one-way track or if they want to head out to one side to find some other wind if other competitors are not looking around.
Well, we're definitely going to start seeing Team Malaysia having to work a little bit on their boat and trimming of their boat, because Team Thailand is having an exceptional day, winning both races and being super fast. On the last race, they didn't win the start.
Yeah, they managed to catch up and work really hard and climb up the course and just take as many shifts as they can to reduce the distance and have good VMG up the course. VMG is a critical part of the sailing. You could go fast, but if you're not going fast in the right direction, you will not be first.
Yeah, so VMG, velocity made good, basically means nothing. Now, what it means is you gotta try to get to where you want to go as fast as you can. Is pretty much what the gist of that means.
Yeah, pretty much.
And here we are. So 1 minute, 5 seconds before the start of the race. Here you go. You see the start line is on the left-hand side of your screen. Right now we're seeing 4 out of the 5 boats right there, which are jostling for positions, as we're seeing the Philippine team and the Vietnamese team all the way on the right-hand side. Malaysia, Thailand, and Myanmar getting closer and closer to us. There it is, Malaysia right there. You see the guys standing in the front. We call that position position number 1. They're the very first ones in the front, and they're going to be telling to slow down. For example, right there on Team Thailand, telling them, okay, hold on a second. We're getting a little bit close. We're 30 seconds away from the start. Can we go? Now they're telling their skippers, okay, go ahead. You can go back. You got to think. The guys that are steering the boat are, sitting 40 feet behind this number 1 guy. So
yeah, definitely. It's a really tough job for the bowman, position number 1, and you can see Thailand setting up below everyone. We have 5 seconds to go. Everybody's starting to accelerate. Philippines just above the line. They might be early. We'll have to see.
They're bearing away. They're bearing away. 1 second. Oh. Now let's see what happens. So they were a little bit early. They had to bear away and lose a lot of speed. Let's see what's going on in the race committee. It looks like a clean start. So if we don't see any other flags on the race committee, we know that we don't have any individual recall. And looks like it was a clean start. So that was a really close one for the Philippine team.
Yeah, definitely. They were really calling it short there, and we can see Team Thailand has executed a good start. Malaysia just behind, and we have Vietnam and Myanmar just behind, and they're going to have to catch up after their start.
The Philippine team putting in an excellent start for the second time today. They've done a really they've gotten the best starts so far. Thailand, though, however, with their speed, look at them. There they are on the bottom side of your screen. So Thailand right now is just trying to get out there. They're not really trying to sail as close to the wind as possible right now. They're just trying to go as fast as they can.
Yeah, we're right on board right now with the Philippines, and we can see them working hard just to try and hold the boats below them as they can. Philippines, they've been really on top of their game with the starts, and that doesn't come with it doesn't come easy. It comes with a lot of practice and just awareness of this line, because this line is quite long, Jan. It's not easy to really position yourself with these big boats and understand how far you are. So it's all a bit of teamwork, working with the bowman, but working with the helmsman. And
look at the difference right there as we see one boat going really much closer. Whoa, what's going on here? Somebody in the water or what? No. Somebody's very wet now. I don't know exactly what happened right there, but yeah, it's what's going on with? There's a cross back there. Look at is that Malaysia? Are they going to be able to get it out in front? Yeah, on the left-hand side of your screen right there, we see Malaysia. Yeah, it looks like they're going to pass easy out in front of the Philippines.
Yeah, it looks like they're heading out to the right. Maybe the lane was too tight for them to get such clear wind, so they're going to head off to the right, find something, maybe find a bit more speed than this group heading out towards the left. As we can see, we're on board with Team Thailand right now with Her Majesty just behind the helmsman over there. We are very honored to have such a great figure involved in this beautiful sport of sailing here.
That's right. The Queen of Thailand is on this boat right there. As we can see her, she's hiking. She's in the back of the boat right there. So it's unbelievable to be able to have the actual Queen of Thailand sailing on these boats.
Yeah, definitely. Having the royal family involved in such an amazing sport is something that we wow. It's incredible, and the whole country is tuned in, I'm sure. And having her ties to try and promote this beautiful sport of sailing is something we cannot take away. We have such a great federation down south with a great sports authority funding such great development of this sport. They really make this sport accessible to all, and having not too much required in this country, you can go sailing out there all year round. And yeah,
and she really made it a point, to tell every one of us that is working here in the organization that she just wants to be treated as a sailor, and wants to participate in this and be treated like the others, and of course. That's a little bit more difficult than most people, because security reasons, obviously, that is going on and concerning the region right here, right now. But we're talking about sailing, and we're having a great time out here. The weather is great, warm, lots of wind, 18 knots of wind. So you're seeing right now we're on board here with the Vietnamese team. Vietnamese team, which they don't have any boats like this in Vietnam, so they're definitely, it's a steep learning curve for these guys. They're doing a great job, and they managed to be here. They're still here. Started this third race. Right now they're currently in 5th place, but they're not too far behind the others. As you see our leaderboard over here, as Thailand and the Philippines are still duking it out. Only 1 meter between those two boats. And looks like Malaysia is not too far behind.
Yeah, it looks like they've tacked over in another patch of wind over there, and it looks like they're holding their lane pretty well. It's neck and neck with Philippines and Thailand, with not even a couple of meters between them. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to tack out first and make the first move.
Yeah, let's see. It's interesting also for Malaysia to be all the way on the right-hand side alone. Tactically speaking, it's kind of it's a little bit dangerous to be out there, to be by yourself. If you get a good wind shift, you'll be in front of everybody else, but if you don't, then you'll be behind. So
yeah, that's the risk of sailing.
It's sort of for all or nothing on the right-hand side over there for Malaysia. But we'll see what happens. As right now, it looks like they're still in 4th place. And not too far behind. We'll see what happens when the boats come back together. And that's really when we can see whether the left-hand side or the right-hand side was better. So be interesting to see where Malaysia is going to be once the boats meet back up and cross one another. Look at those beautiful shots right there. The bow of boat number 6. That, I believe, is Thailand. Yes, it is.
Yeah, definitely. In this situation where Thailand is, they're the most left to the fleet, so they're in a quite interesting situation where that if they have the right wind shift, they should be able to lead the rest of the race. But as with Mother Nature, it's really hard to predict what will happen, and it's a numbers game in the end of the day. So it seems like Team Thailand is just trying to be patient and wait for the right opportunity to execute their race plan.
Yeah, it also looks like the Philippine team is just to the right of them. So no matter what they want to do, Thailand, they're stuck. They can't actually tack. They're going to have to stay on this starboard beat right here, as you can see here on the 3D. If Thailand right now were to attack, the Philippines would be tacking right on top of them, stealing their wind. So really, Thailand now has to wait for Myanmar or the Philippines to tack over, and in order to be able to get back to the center of the race course. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, definitely, and we're so lucky to have this technology right now on our screens that we can see this line across all the boats. This is the leader line, and this is a line that is calculated with the wind to determine where the leader position is. So as we can see, Malaysia, who tacked out to the right, they took a little bit more risk, and they are still behind that leader line. And here on board with Team Philippines, whoa, we have, looks like Team Thailand tacked.
Yeah, Team Thailand probably decided they were getting way too close to the ley line, or maybe even past it, and have decided to duck behind the Philippine team right there. So Team Thailand deciding to opt to tack over and go behind the Philippine boat. So you saw they lost 20 meters in that move. Now, let's see what happens here, because as soon as the Philippine team boat will tack, which is right now, they're also going to lose a little bit of space. So I think we'll be back to what we were, which is pretty much 10 meters or something spread.
Yeah, not even. Just a couple meters between them. And you can see that even with this tack, they're 10 meters apart. So both very similar maneuvers. It's very good to see that the Filipinos can keep their momentum going. And let's see how they come together, as Malaysia is going to meet them in a couple of minutes when they get towards the halfway through the race course.
Yeah, Malaysia right there, as you see everybody really outside. Well, same thing with Thailand, you just can't see them. Everybody hiking hard now. This is what we were talking about earlier, Mickey. We've got the team, the third place boat with the Malaysian boat right here, coming back up. So now let's see what's going to happen with the leaders. Is Malaysia, did they choose the correct place to go?
Yeah, let's see if their gamble paid off. It is a little bit of risk. They put a bit of risk into their strategy by sailing a different way to the leaders and to the other race course. All these sailors, they know what they're doing. And if you're going off alone, you better have a good reason and understand, okay, maybe you see a stronger wind patch over here. In these boats, we're all one design, so gaining a little bit of more wind compared to others really pushes you ahead. And it's a game of meters, not even, maybe even half a meter at times.
Yeah, interesting. Right now, you see Malaysia has now come back and with the other boats, have crossed with the other boats. So it looks like they've managed to get a little bit in front of Myanmar, but they haven't managed to get back out in front of the Philippines and Thailand. However, they are in the game, and they're only 40 meters behind to that virtual line that we were looking at earlier here, as we see the Philippine boat going in for attack. No, sorry, Thailand. Team Thailand is going.
Maybe they'll execute a port stop and maybe force Philippines to make a move. It'll be interesting to see this duel.
Yeah, let's see how these boats come up together. Their boat on the right-hand side is Team Thailand. They have the right-of-way over the Team Philippines, which is now decided to attack. Perhaps because they did not have the right-of-way, as we're seeing Team Malaysia right there right now in front of us. And as they're putting in attack, they're on a port tack right now. receiving the wind from port. So port is the left-hand side of the boat.
Yeah, it's interesting to see Malaysia trying to stay out of sync with Thailand and Philippines. This does make their strategy quite interesting, as if Thailand and Philippines head into a bad patch of wind, Malaysia might gain something out of this. So looks like they're putting as much risk as they can to try and stay ahead and stay in the game.
Yeah, look at that. It's really interesting now. It's switched between Thailand and the Philippines. Before, it was the Philippines that were blocking out Thailand, and now it's Thailand which is blocking out the Philippines. Okay, not for long. Thailand decided to attack over and now go back to the right-hand side. Philippines is following. So our leader right now, Team Philippines, followed by Team Thailand. Only 8 meters, even less, between the two teams.
Yeah, it's nothing. And in this type of racing, that's neck and neck racing. So it's really amazing to see how close these guys can push it, and maybe not beyond the limit, as we are a non-contact sport in the end. And it will be very interesting to see if Thailand is able to sail a little higher than Philippines.
6 meters, that's half a boat length.
That's nothing.
That's really close between those two boats. So we'll say those boats are pretty much at a tie. And in an ambush is Malaysia coming and standing right there.
It's interesting to see the different sail shapes, where here in Philippines they're really flogging the sail, main sail a little bit, just to keep that boat in control, with the Thai sail having a nice setup, maybe getting a little bit more twist up the top and just charging away while they can.
Yeah, the front sail on these boats, we can change them out. So this morning we had a little bit less wind. We were with a bigger sail out in front called a Genoa, and this is a jib. So this is a little bit less powerful, and it's a good thing because right now, we're gusting up to 18 knots. So it's pretty strong out there. Once we're getting past 20 knots, race committee will most likely decide to stop racing for the day. So we're only 2 knots away from the limit. And that limit is race rules for this category. That's what has been decided. So we're at the upper end of the spectrum of wind here, and we could see one more sail. We do have a smaller sail. We're not going to see it today because this is the third and final race of the day. But we can, if it gets even stronger, put on another front sail, which is a little bit smaller.
Yeah, we've seen all sorts of conditions today, and it really shows the versatility of the SSL47. And it looks like Team Philippines here is a coordinating attack onto the ley line. This is very critical, as if they undershoot or miss.
They're close to the other boat right there, huh?
Damn. Yeah, if they mess up their ley lines, they're going to have to put in another maneuver, and that's not what they really want, especially.
Look at this. It's really interesting. So you see the two angles on those two boats. That means that the Philippines or the Thailand, the boat on the right has managed to probably tack a little bit better on the ley line right now. So they have the advantage there. The inside boat, Thailand is on the left. Philippines is on the right, as we're seeing them arrive to the windward mark for the first time here on the third race of the day as they bear away.
It's nothing between them.
Nothing between them, as Thailand is just breathing down the neck of the Philippine boat right now as they're making their way over towards the offset mark. And as they get ready to hoist the spinnaker here, you see the boom being let out as they are right now arriving here at the offset mark, and we're going to see them, the grinders, start grinding right there as the kite is going to go up. This is a crucial moment right now. Look at how close that is. Team Thailand is just right behind them.
Wow.
Oh, Thailand getting a good surf. Did you see the front of the boat of Team Thailand right there, managing just to get that nice wave? It looks like the Philippines are getting it right now. Looks like, Philippines, no, they still don't have that under control right now. So it looks like having problems with getting some wind into that sail.
Wow, what a surf. Look at them go.
You can see the whole back end of the boat just lifting up, and the front plowing into the wave in front. They really got to get that boat under control. Look at Thailand on the left-hand side with a much flatter boat being able to bear away and go closer to that leeward mark.
Yeah, definitely. Downwind is a very critical part of the sport, where the speed differences between each and every boat is larger than upwind, and so these are where the gains can be made. And so we can see here Philippines still sailing down and with their jib up.
Yeah, so obviously I can hear it from here. What is the question at home is, why is one of them sailing with the jib up and the other one not sailing with the jib up?
Tell us, Jan.
Well, you could choose. Because basically, if you have the jib up, it makes it a little bit harder to have a nice full spinnaker. But by having that jib up, some will argue that you can go a little bit faster because you can use that to accelerate the wind that's going to be going behind the mainsail. So it's really a choice of the crew and what they want to do. But as you're seeing right now, it looks like Team Thailand decided to have to put the jib down. And it's absolutely not a problem for them. They've actually just managed to overtake the Team Philippine right here. As we see, the Philippines are going to put in a jibe, I suppose, as well.
Hopefully they follow. If they split, it really makes it a dicey race, as we don't know which side might come out ahead. I suspect that Team Thailand might be jibing to cover the Malaysian boat behind them, but we'll have to see in the footage. And looks like Philippines have found their little groove as they are ahead. Maybe.
It looks like there's something going on here. We probably have a crossover and a problem with the winch. Is that perhaps why they're not jibing right now? You see that? They keep going. It's looking like, it's a cluster over there on those winches. Yeah, they're definitely having issues right there as they've
jammed it.
They've jammed the winch right there. Oh, no. They need to jibe, and they can't get it off.
Another heartbreak for race 3 for Team Philippines. Looks like they're going beyond ley line, as well as we just saw Team Myanmar sail past them. Oh, heartbreaking.
This is terrible. They've every race they're doing that. They're doing well. They're out there. They're so close to it, and then something happens.
Yeah, they've been taking all the boxes, and it's just falling short. Couldn't finish the package.
Yeah, we see there that also the tack line is not all the way pulled in.
Yeah.
So I saw the same thing on Team Thailand right there. Their tack line was out. But it's hard. We said we're at the upper side of the spectrum here for the wind range. It is really strong winds. Remember, these boats, we have 230 square meters on a boat that weighs 3.3 tons. So that's a lot of square area for
a lot of power.
It's a lot of power for not that much weight.
Yeah, as we can see right now, Team Thailand and Team Malaysia are battling out. It seems like Team Malaysia did see the mark first, and they're sailing the least amount of distance so far, which is really putting them into their benefit. They are only 30 meters just behind the ties, but they are a little bit closer to the rum line. This is an imaginary line, which is a direct line from the weather mark all the way to the bottom gate. And it looks like the Malaysians are in a really nice groove right now, working together, working hard, grinding away. Wow, it's going to be close.
You could look at the work being made right there. 2 grinders, they're getting tired. They're definitely having to grind really hard right there. There's a lot of weight, a lot of power right there coming from that spinnaker.
Yeah, with this cross swell as well, they're trying to gain as much power as they can and just soak down these waves. Look at them right now surfing these beautiful waves. Back, back, back.
Everybody up, everybody up. Here comes the power.
Yeah, they got hit by gusts right now, and wow, they are sending it.
Yeah, so you see those guys that are grinding right there. So they're turning the winch and reeling in the sail. As a guy on the right-hand side, we saw him just sort of moving his shoulder around just earlier. He's just releasing the rope. But I can tell you, there's a lot of weight on that rope. So we say just releasing, but it's quite hard right there on the right-hand side.
Yeah, the loads on these boats are incredible, and it requires a team to make it work.
We're talking tons. We're talking tons.
You can't be pulling this rope alone. That's why you got a winch to try and pull it in, and wow.
Mechanical systems and
Full
2
on.
guys pushing it. And no, it's on. It's definitely on right now. So where's Team Philippine? Oh, they've managed to jibe. Okay, that's good. Oh, but they managed to jibe, but they're really far away from the ley line. You see, you guys, the yellow mark up there is where that you would want to be, or at least you don't want to go any further than that mark right there, that line. And look at Team Philippines really further down there, so they're going to have to take their spinnaker off and then sail to go up towards the leeward gate, which is where Team Thailand right now is heading. So we said Malaysia was in an ambush just behind Team Philippines and Team Thailand at the weather mark, and guess who's managed to come back to the front? Well, Team Malaysia.
Yeah, definitely, and we'll see at the bottom mark to see if they split over or, looks like Team Thailand has dropped their kite and preparing to do a maneuver, whether if it's going to be in front of the Malaysians with the same
they really
mark
need
or...
to get it going. Oh, no. This is, there we go. Oh, no, no. Disaster. Yeah, this is disaster. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, disaster. We got to get that kite in.
Oh, jeez.
As you can see, when that kite hits the water, it is a handbrake.
Yeah, but wait, hold on, because now we've got the Malaysian team here, which is arriving at the gate, and they're also having a bunch of problems. They're not managing to put the spinnaker in. Everybody's trying to put in really trying to rush it in. This could be an opportunity for Myanmar right now, which is coming down towards the gate. They've put their spinnaker down, and they're going to be doing a mark rounding. Thailand is totally tanked. They're not going anywhere.
Oh, the spin is out. Oh, no.
Yeah, yeah. That's no good. Malaysia having big problems as well as their Genoa, their jib is not all the way up. So this is a really good deal right now for Myanmar. And
the pressure is on. The pressure is on, and they feel it, Team Thailand. If you leave that maneuver last, it gets really messy. And as you can see right now, it spells disaster.
So, could this be the opportunity now, perhaps, for the Vietnamese team to get onto perhaps something else in a 5th place? We'll see, because remember we've got the Philippine boat, which is still outside of the ley line area. We've got Thailand, which is stuck with a floating anchor down at the leeward gate, and Malaysia is looking like they're solving the problem. But this was a very good maneuver for Myanmar, as we see the Philippines and Vietnam coming back into the game. Oh, this is this is a game of snakes and ladders right here.
Definitely, it really highlights where keeping it simple and doing the maneuvers as well as you can. And when you keep the maneuvers as simple as you can, you have less mistakes, and Myanmar really executed that well. And with Thailand and Malaysia executing late drops and late maneuvers, that can spell disaster.
Right, so Thailand, you just saw them, they put the spinnaker in the back of their boat right now. Okay, so the spinnaker is back onto the boat, but it's definitely not in the right place.
No, definitely not, Jan.
So this is this means that for the second hoist, the second downwind leg, I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know how Thailand's going to do it, because right now they're going to have to take it all apart and put it all back together.
Yeah, they're going to have to coordinate some magic aboard that boat. I'm sure they've practiced some drills, having worst-case scenarios, because you got to come prepared to these events. It's the Southeast Asian Games.
Yeah, so you can always prepare, but it's really hard to prepare for a situation like that.
Oh, definitely.
So let's take a look here. What's happening? As it looks like right. So they've decided to take the spinnaker and to put it back into the back. So that spinnaker should be on the opposite side of the boat, which is the front and inside it, not in the back.
Yeah, definitely not. And instead of having everybody on the windward side, which is on the side that everybody hikes on usually, they have a couple of people at the back, and they're not going as fast as they can. So they're in limp mode, as we'd like to say.
I think that's Dylan right there, along with Her Majesty the Queen, working hard at putting that spinnaker back into the bag.
Oh, disaster.
Oh, is that the... yeah, that's the halyard of the main... That's the halyard we're seeing right there. So the halyard's not even onto the boat. So they're definitely not going to be able to bring that... to bring that spinnaker up. Okay, a little bit of a disastrous third race there for Team Thailand. But remember, they've got 2 points, so they're leading right now. This will definitely help this team out here right now. Our current leaders, Team Myanmar.
Yeah, definitely. They've really executed it very well at that bottom mark, and let's see how well they can keep their boat ahead of the Malaysians, as they are not an easy boat to keep behind. So they're working really hard here on board of Team Myanmar. coordinating the shifts and just trying to get up the course as fast as they can with 2.2 kilometers.
It's just
to go.
unbelievable. Just one little mistake like that. I mean, it's not such a little mistake. It's a pretty big one. But I mean, it definitely just completely will turn your whole entire race around. So coordination on these boats is really a big factor. And look at Malaysia again. They're not our leader, but they're there.
They're definitely there, and it looks like the conditions have dropped down a little bit. We are seeing less and less white caps, but as we like to say when we're racing, you shouldn't stop until you cross that line. Anything can happen, and bingo, there you go. Myanmar is ahead.
Yeah, anything can happen, and it is sailing, obviously, and we're dealing with wind. We can't control the winds. We can't control the wind, but we can control where we're going, that's for sure, and some of these teams are doing it better than others.
Yeah, definitely. You don't choose the hand that you're given. So it looks like both of these boats are sailing at a similar angle. So it's very interesting to see if they will be managing to go ahead. Team Malaysia is just behind Team Myanmar, a little bit higher. So as we get towards that top mark, it'll be quite interesting to see how that plays out. Team Thailand there in third place overall, but down in limp mode, with Team Philippines just behind and Vietnam. So it's definitely close racing, and we still have many more races throughout the days ahead. And as we said before, after 8 races in our format, each team will get 1 discard, which means that the team can get rid of the race with the highest scoring point. So if a team finishes 5th, and that is their worst race overall, that can be discarded.
That's right. So you get 1 point. That means you finish first. 2 points, you finish second, etc.
Exactly. It is a low point scoring system. So many more races in the day, and it's not the end for Team Thailand. I think they should be very happy with what they've done so far, but the race is still not over. Team Malaysia, they could drop their kite as well.
You never know. We're just past the halfway mark here on this third race of the day. We're on leg 3 of 4. We're about halfway up of this beat, trying to get to the weather mark. We'll see what happens as things continue, but it's good. We see that Vietnam, Philippines on the right-hand side of your screen have now come back into the playing field, into the game, as the front runners were had a couple issues down at the leeward gate, and here we are on board with Team Philippine, which was leading, which was now. Then went back down, and now they're coming back up. It's been sort of a yo-yo up and down for all these teams. Philippines getting really good starts today. Probably the team that started the best on most of the races. But unfortunately, not able to stay out in front, always having these little issues in there. It's costing them dearly.
Yeah, it's definitely been the story of their day. Starting off well, executing it very well, ticking all the boxes, and just falling short. So I think the Philippines definitely have to gather all together and have a big chat. And
yeah, they're going to be biting their nails tonight.
Oh, it's going to be a pretty heavy day today for Philippines.
For sure.
But,
Thailand can be really happy with their days. They've already got 2 wins. They're doing real well right now.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, yeah, they had a big well, there you go.
It's not over yet.
They had a little bit of an issue down at the leeward mark, as you can see here. The halyard of the spinnaker, which is just floating behind them. So they won't be using their spinnaker on their way down, which is unfortunate. But so that's only 1 mistake they've made. It's cost them dearly, but 1 mistake on 1 race, which is not too bad.
Yeah,
you see, there's definitely still a lot of wind out there. Oh, look at all those white caps.
Picked up again. Yeah, but it'll be interesting to see how Team Thailand will be able to hold off Philippines with a kite. There's many ways they can do it using the rules, but it'll be nail biting, that's for sure, to try and keep this 3rd place when they cross that finish line. Yep, on board right now we have Navi. Congratulations, nicknamed Tam. He got gold medal yesterday at the 470 event in the dinghies. Congratulations to him. It's a really diverse team on board, and they're doing pretty well. So I'm sure that this little mistake is not going to drag them down too much. They'll learn from it, but race is still not over.
And this is, so ladies and gentlemen, what you're watching right now is the SEA Games, the Southeast Asian Games. This is the Asian version of the Olympics. And, what's going on here? It looks as though...
They're trying to grab the halyard, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Something Something's going on. Is that the race committee giving them some information? Doesn't look like it. I doubt it. Anyway, Southeast Asian Games is what you're watching, and what's great is that in the sailing, in the sport of sailing, there are several different competitions in the Southeast Asian Games. One of them is Optimus. Optimus are sailing.
Yep.
So the kids are sailing, and then we've got the 470 class, like you just said. They won the Thai team won the 470 class and won a gold medal, and they're not all sailing at the same time. So some of these athletes can actually participate and do several things.
Yeah, luckily this year we have 3 different venues actually for the sailing. We have windsurfing as well as kite foiling, and we're lucky that this week that passed by recently, there was the dinghy sailing, so Opti sailing 470s, as you said, and a lot of these teams did very well. A lot of winners and gold medalists are jumping back into this SSL, the keel boat version of it, for the week after. And just up the coast a little bit of where we are right now, in front of Ocean Marina, is the windsurf team and the kite foiling team, which are participating their events right now. And good luck to everyone that's participating right now. And if you do want to tune in, you can go tune in at the Southeast Asian Games website, and you can see all the results accordingly. But today, we are watching the beautiful SSL47, one design, and what a piece of kit.
Yeah, on the mixed team events. So these are the biggest boats that they've had so far in the SEA Games. I believe the last ones were 28 feet. These ones are a little bit bigger here, as we're sailing on an SSL47. Boats, these are all the same, and it makes just the racing, more equal for everybody.
Yeah, it's athlete to athlete at this point. Equipment doesn't change, so everybody has the same gear. Everybody's going at the same speed, and it's just pure talent and to show what you're made of. That's what we want. So right now we're just watching Team Malaysia ahead. We're about 500 meters into the top mark, and looks like Team Myanmar has really put in another gear and really just keeping their lead ahead of the Malaysians. Seems like Team Thailand have managed to claw back a little bit to Team Malaysia, but we'll see again how that goes towards the next downwind leg.
I'm wondering if Malaysia right now is actually trying to just place themselves between the windward mark and Team Thailand. As we know that they are, both those teams, Malaysia and Thailand, are ahead of Myanmar right now in terms of points. And so interesting to see that perhaps Malaysia right now is playing the points game and is already trying to defend their position
on the first day. But maybe they don't know that Team Thailand doesn't have a spinnaker, so maybe they're just trying to be conservative.
Perhaps, as we are back on board here with Team Myanmar, who has just put in probably what is going to be their last tack before they get to the windward mark, as we go down for the final downwind of this race and of the day, as this is the third race of today. We have generally scheduled, we are planned to to regularly have two races per day, but seeing yesterday, we know it was nice, a windy day, and we expect to have a little bit less wind during the week. We wanted the race committee decided to put in 3 races in today.
Yeah, but let's hope this condition holds up. It's champagne sailing, as they like to say. It's beautiful sunshine. Water's 30 degrees. The water is warm as anything, and wow, you're in Thailand. Can't complain.
We just had a picture of Nai, who is the boat skipper, the skipper of this boat, as she's sitting right in front of Her Majesty the Queen, who is responsible for everything that is strategy, tactician strategy.
Yes, she's been working a lot with the team so far, and it's been an honor to have her on board. A real figure in the world of sailing for now in Thailand. And we have Team Myanmar right now running the top mark, setting up. Let's hope they execute a really good hoist and just keep their lead ahead. Getting 1 point, getting first place in any race is definitely in the pocket. What's what you want, and it'll really put them in the game.
Oh, sure. Now let's just make sure that this is this just needs to be clean. They really need to take their time and do it well. And we see the grinders getting ready, making sure they have nothing underneath them. Here we go. They're going for the hoist.
Got Team Malaysia right here rounding that top mark. They have to avoid this top mark. We are a non-contact sport in the end of the day. Whoa, big
Whoa,
bear away.
Yeah, big bear away.
Big bear away, but it seems like they're in control. Looks like Nizam is in control of Nizam, the helmsman, multiple Olympian, just controlling his team. And it's a team sport in the end of the day. If
Yeah,
one person
Nizam really,
falls short-
I've noticed him really put in some really big bearaways. He's pretty aggressive on that wheel when he wants to bear away. But that's great because that means he's not going to be going too far. He's not taking any unnecessary distance around the mark.
Yeah, definitely. He likes to sail large and in charge. As we have here, we have the Thai team around the top mark in limp mode right now. Let's see how they execute their final downwind to try and stay in front of the Philippines without a spinnaker. It's going to be a real challenge.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to. They're going to have to sail really, really high in order to be able to have a lot of speed. But we'll see. We'll see how they do. As you can see, the halyard right there. Maybe as they jibe, they manage to get the halyard. Oh, almost.
Oh.
Come on. Dylan's just like waiting for it. Ah, there it is. All right, he got
Nice.
it. Okay, maybe they'll manage to do something and put that that halyard. It looks like the
they got it in the
spinnaker is perhaps ready to go. So let's see what's going on over here.
Wow, it's really nifty what they've done so far. Let's see if they can get it up.
Oh, this would be great if they can get this this up without any issues.
That's
It looks
really
like
good teamwork.
yeah, it looks like there's no knots in the spinnaker. Oh yes. Well, let's take a look at the full spinnaker here. Perhaps there's something going on up there. They can drop the jib, get that kite really full. As they are quite bared away right now. Now remember, that kite is wet,
Yep.
and it was rolled up into a ball not too long ago. So
Wow, they've done really well just to get that all together, and it does seem
yeah, just
like
to get it up is already.
it's impressive. Well done to Team Thailand there, and the coordination for that to happen is not an easy task, but they've really bounced back. Let's see if they can hunt down Malaysia if possible, but just staying ahead of Team Philippines is
Yeah,
already
so
a
now
win.
let's take a look here. What's happening out in front as Myanmar has gone around, and 38 seconds behind them is Team Malaysia right here, 185 meters separating the two teams. That's a pretty commanding lead right there for Myanmar.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be interesting to see if Team Malaysia will throw in a few jibes to force them to make an error in their maneuvers. Definitely, these maneuvers, they can cost a lot. And if teamwork is not executed properly, it could be disaster.
That's C2 right there at the helm,
Oh, he's working hard.
looking around, trying to catch the next waves, keeping his lead. Trying to go fast, but not putting the boat into too much of a problem. Look at that! Everybody's come back as we see mustaches growing out in front of the bow right there, just pushing some water. Even though all the weight is as far back as they can go. Oh, just grinding away right there. Looks like hard work, definitely hard work. But they're out in front right now, 178 meters lead, 179 meter lead right now for Myanmar. They've got to be super happy. This will be the best result of them for today.
Looks like there's a disaster on the leaderboard. We can see Team Thailand just got. Team Philippines just passed Team Thailand. Looks like an issue that's going on down there. Spoke too soon.
Yeah, it's actually, I think it's a technical glitch that we're having right now. But there we go. Thailand's coming back. It happens. Oh, there we go. Now we're on board.
Team Philippines. Looks like Team Thailand. Oh, no.
Team Philippines,
Yep,
Team Thailand off to
looks
the
like Team
right-hand
Thailand
side.
down there. Yep, they've got their spinning curve. Wow, that's impressive. With their jib up still, so they must be sailing pretty high.
Yeah, pretty high. You can see that they're below the ley line right there, the yellow mark. So they've got to get back to the finishing line right now. It's just a sprint. Look at that. Myanmar has now gone from 179 meters to 206 meter lead over Malaysia. So, just losing the spinnaker. Oh, is that a bunch of... Did they... look at that. Is that holes in their spinnaker right there? Oh no! I think they
That's hard
may
to
have
say.
damaged their spinnaker right there, or are those just the patches?
Could be patches.
For them. Yeah, it might be
Nonetheless,
patches.
they've really found a good groove and really holding their lane here. They've really held the distance between Team Malaysia, and honestly, for Team Myanmar, props to them. They've done pretty well this race.
I believe Team Myanmar right now can just continue cruising like this, and they don't have to put in a jibe in order to get across the finishing line. If that would be the case, then that's just absolutely great for this team, managing to win their first race of the day for them.
Yeah, it really shows how versatile these boats are, and in the end of the day, it's not boat on boat, it's sailor against sailor, and really shows how skill really wow.
There we
look at
are.
this shot. Wow.
Yeah, beautiful. So that's the gate right there. That's not the finishing line. That's the leeward gate. They still gotta go a little bit further. Just only a couple 100 meters left, 157 meters left until they get down to the finishing line. So first win for Team Myanmar here on race number 3 of day number 1. Everybody giving themselves a nice high five. Congratulations, guys. Great sailing.
Well
Wow, what an up and down race.
Oh, it makes it really interesting for the next following days to see how the teams are going to position themselves.
You know, they were 4th on the first lap, huh?
Yeah.
4th on the first lap, now they win.
Good on them. They've really taken all the opportunities there, and in the
Here
sport of
comes
sailing,
Malaysia.
that happens all the time.
Here comes Malaysia right now, crossing the finishing line. So doing a good job for them. Unfortunately, they also had a little bit of a problem down at the leeward mark. A little bit frustrating for them. They were doing really well.
Yeah, but when the pressure's on and you both try to drop that kite as late as you can, I think they should be happy with second place overall.
I think a second place overall after a day like today is a good result. Remember, we still have a couple days of racing, and we can go up to 8 races. So name of the game right now is just trying to finish at the top of the leaderboard every time.
Consistency. Consistency is key.
Team Thailand is coming in right now, so that's 3rd place for Team
Whoa.
Thailand. Whoa, what a nice little surf, and then.
Yeah, definitely. For them to get that kite up after that disaster,
Yeah, they
That's
did a
excellent
great job
teamwork.
at getting that kite back up, and they won 2 races today. So this was day 3. They came in 3rd, but they won the other 2. So right now they have 5 points overall on the leaderboard, and they are our overall leader. But it's the lead has dwindled.
yes, definitely. Congratulations to Team Thailand. And here's Philippines just in the background. Having a malfunction at that ley line and not being able to jibe. It's been the story of the day for them. Just doing it well and not
Just
finishing it
one
off.
little mistake, wrapping that sheet around the winch, and
Will
it
be-
could cost you.
Yeah, it would be interesting to be in that meeting with the team to hear what they want to say and boost morale for the next days ahead.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, that's probably an internal meeting they're gonna have. So they're gonna take their time now and making sure that they get that spinnaker down without putting it into the water, and make sure they don't damage it anymore. We're still waiting now for Team Vietnam, which will be coming into hopefully coming into the picture very soon. So they decided with the wind that there was, they did not want to put up their spinnaker, which is understandable, and they don't want to destroy it, especially after having put it into the water on the race number 2 today. So
Yeah, here they come.
here they are. So this is Team Vietnam now making their way down to the finishing line as they're getting closer and closer. You can see a really nice picture right there of all the wind that there is. So it looks great. Doesn't look like it's that strong, but it's pretty strong. Look at the size of that mainsail right there.
Yeah, it's definitely a great venue. Like, we've hosted a couple of championships here, Olympic qualifiers to World Championships, and we're looking forward to the upcoming events. We do have the OK Dinghy Worlds upcoming, and Thailand is a great venue. So if anybody wants to do some sailing, please come down. You know, we're open. We have open arms for all. We have clubs all over the country, all over the Gulf, and it's very accessible.
Let's talk about that a little bit, because there is possibilities for people from all over the place, from Thailand especially, to be able to participate in this. And I believe the Navy has a pretty big program.
Yeah, definitely. Down south in Sarajevo, where the national sailing base is, they have an incredible program where you pay as little as 30 to 40 euros a year, and you're given boats and sails, and anyone from all walks of life can learn to sail. As this is a privilege. It's a beautiful sport. It really teaches you amazing life skills from self-reliance, respecting Mother Nature, above all. Like you can see the Navy ship back in the background, really closing the field of play off to any stray speedboats around Pattaya. But back on the topic of Wairat, really promoting sailing as it is, it's a real honor to have such support from them and the Sports Authority and the royal family, as well, as they are getting involved more and more into the sport. So I do urge anyone, if they do want to come sail, come to Thailand.
So that's a little bit of publicity right there for Thailand. We've been out here for a month now, getting ready for this race. The teams have come out here. They've learned to use the boats, and it's been great to have met everybody here and all these teams. And it's great to finally see them all get together and duke it out here out on the water. We are expecting a little bit less wind in the next couple days. We'll see what happens. I must say that every time we've been out here, there's been quite a bit of wind, and even on the light wind days, there's still quite a bit of wind.
Oh, it's a great time of year to sail in Thailand, and we have such a large gulf, so much water. So as we can see here, Vietnam just coming across the line, but yeah, it's a beautiful place to be.
It's absolutely wonderful, and this bay here is being protected right now by the Navy, as you can imagine, because of Her Majesty the Queen, which is sailing on one of the boats. So security is high, and I think everybody who's sailing out here today is very, very safe. And that pretty much brings us to the end of our racing here for today, as we see the boats now are trying to make their way back to the harbor, as we are watching Vietnam cross the line here for race number 3. So they're going to be heading back off of the water, and we are going to be heading off of the air right now. But before we do so, stick around with us and make sure that you follow us on Instagram and on Facebook. We have you can follow us on the SSL Gold Cup Challenge, on the SSL Gold Cup League and Star Sailors League, as well as, of course, the SEA Games, Southeast Asian Games in Thailand, in order to be able to find out how many medals everybody has won. And right now it's Thailand in the lead, in a commanding lead, with well over 200 medals that they've earned, and a couple sailors yesterday that managed to get another couple gold medals for Team Thailand. There it is. That is this was 15th of December. So today at 10:30. This is the latest information we have. So you see Thailand in first place with 257. Indonesia just climbing into second place. Vietnam was in second for quite a long time, and now we see Indonesia coming back up and winning some more medals. So we'll see at the end of the week if the sailing is going to manage to bring another gold medal for Team Thailand. Somebody will win this, no matter what happens. Right now, the results for today's last race. So Myanmar, congratulations, after a racing time of 41 minutes and 13 seconds, finished first. Just behind them is Malaysia in second, Thailand third, Philippines fourth, and Vietnam in fifth place. Let's take a look at the overall results right now, as we have race 1. As you see, Thailand winning race 1, winning race 2, and then 3 points. So Thailand is in the lead with 5 points, followed by Malaysia 7, very close. Myanmar with 8 points, the Philippines with 10, and bringing up the rear is Vietnam with 16 points. 3 races in today, 3 nice races in. We see we can have up to 8 races. If we do have 8 races, the worst race for each one of the participants will be taken off. And that will hopefully change, well, hopefully not, on where you're standing, the ranking of the overall ranking towards the end.
Yeah, definitely. It's still anyone's game, and we still have more than half the regatta to do. So good luck to everyone for tomorrow, and it'll be interesting to see.
All right, Mickey, thank you very much for joining me today here in the booth, and we'll see you tomorrow. Everybody at home, thanks for sticking with us. We'll be back tomorrow, and make sure you watch it live here at the SEA Games in Pattaya along with the SSL boats. Thank you very much, everybody. Thanks, Mickey, and see you tomorrow.
Out of sync and out of touch, and maybe even out of love. Stop drumming on my heart, please stop. Got me black and blue, making me wanna walk. You're not singing in the right key, check your tone, or soon you'll be a one-man band alone. Stop drumming on my heart, please stop. The rhythm that you're playing is just radio. You're not singing in the right key, check your tone, or soon you'll be a one-man band alone. Stop drumming on my Sometimes I play it safe, and you can see it. It's easy for me to show. But sometimes I'm really brave, and that just means that I'll try again tomorrow. It's my doubt creating mountains where the valleys used to be. Gotta change perspective if I really wanna see that sunrise over the water. I swam over and under, get lost in all the wonder, never call it quits, no. When life hit me apart, I went faster, farther.